How's everybody doing tonight? That's a step in the right direction, Geeks of Retro. We'll get started here in just a couple minutes. Happy to share that story with you, Acoustic Gamer. It's been a crazy ride. I become instantly more popular to my cat when I'm live streaming. Hi, and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Currier, and it is my mission to simplify YouTube so you and I can grow together. I want to thank everybody for joining the stream tonight. Looks like we have a great crowd. I appreciate you guys spending some time with me here on this Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. And hopefully we can have a good conversation, see what everybody is doing with their channels, maybe answer some questions, and even do some channel reviews. Bunch of you guys jumped in here early. I appreciate it. I'm going to hop in the chat here and see what's going on. I've seen a lot of activity so far. All right, just going to jump in here, say hello to some people. We had Data3 get in there real early with the first comment. I appreciate that. Ben Sawmill, Sparky28 Gaming, Science Gal Aquatics, Rocket Scientist, thank you for joining the stream. Fundamentals of Tech. Let's see, we have Daddy Daughter Gamer. Thanks for joining the stream tonight. Zionic. Zimkatek. Muzamel. I'm going to mispronounce that. Aved. The Acoustic Gamer. Reese Carlton. Slowboat Sailing. Car Galaxy Studios. Thanks for joining. Doug Hewson is in the house tonight. Thanks. Dave Snyder, Zuck Zorley, or Duck Zorley, K Flanagan 98. Everybody coming to hang out tonight. Awesome to see you all. See Rocket Scientist. Kawi Katana. Get a Frick Show Tube. Probably messed that up, but do what I can. DV Nerd 101. I saw some questions earlier that we can get to. I saw some people talking about how to rank their videos, and they were talking about thumbs up or thumbs down. Thumbs up and thumbs down don't have a lot to do with ranking your videos. It's more about your YouTube SEO and how you target specific keyword phrases that people are actually searching for on YouTube. I have a couple different videos on that. One's called How to Rank Your Videos Fast in 2018. That shows you the process that you go through to actually identify a keyword phrase for your video to target, and how to build your metadata and your SEO, your description, your tags, and your title around that in order to show up on the first page of search. Hey, Beanie Draws is in the live stream. I appreciate you joining. Tyler Scott Illusionist, thanks. Shannon Vlogs, also here tonight. Ben Sawmill says, what's going on? Technical difficulties. You like that back there? Oh. All right, let's see here. So how's everybody doing with their channels? Do you have any goals that you've set for yourself, either for the new YouTube partner changes or just in general for 2018? I'd love to know how everybody's doing. Leo, is it Radomez Vlogs? I'm probably messing that up. You'll have to sound it out for me. The okayest Taylor, how are you? C4 Defense, good to see you. Happily Ever Outdoors. Oh, the t-shirt, you like that? Let's see, where is it? This is the... Love the Pillow just got my subscribe t-shirt in the mail today. Awesome. My channel is a music channel. Never ask people to check out your channel in a live stream chat. Comes across spammy. Late Bloomer, hello, good, thank you for joining the stream. Nate Dog, gonna focus on promoting his town. Awesome. I think you've done a lot of videos about things in your area. Nath the Great also joining the stream tonight. Bearded Yakin, how are you? Okay, is Taylor, could you, or could the mistakenly demonetized videos have to do with how many ads are available? Will that change after February? Are you asking if they're demonetizing videos because they don't have enough ads to go around? I would probably say no, because just because a video is monetized doesn't necessarily mean an ad is going to appear on it every time somebody plays it. So for that reason, there's no need to demonetize a video if they don't have enough ads. But I do think that for those channels that are monetized after February 20th, one could make the assumption that there will be more ads to go around because it's a smaller group of channels. So we'll see how that all works out. Alex Fishing, changing my goals from subs to views. Goals 1 million lifetime by the end of February. I actually saw, I think it was Harley Pebley that got 1 million views, 1 million lifetime views recently. Congrats to him. why did you become a YouTuber? If you're asking me why I became a YouTuber, so I originally, I mean, obviously I've had, like everybody, I had my first YouTube channel years ago, probably 10, 11 years ago, just to watch stuff on YouTube. A couple of years ago, I started another channel called The Average Dan, and I started that channel, as the name suggests, it was basically my approach to tackling problems that I ran into. A lot of times it was like car repairs. I did a whole camper remodel series, but it was just about an average guy who doesn't necessarily have the skills to fix everything that's broken, but he can at least take a look at the issue, see what's wrong, see if you can do research on how to fix the issue. And it kind of spawned out of when, you know, a car would break or something like that, I would go out and look for a video on how to fix it. And when I couldn't find the video, I decided I would start making my own videos to help the next guy. And that kind of is how The Average Dan was born. And then last April, I decided to get serious, quote unquote, get serious about growing that channel. And so it was April, May, June, basically, it was all of April, May, and June, or half of June. So basically 2.5 months into getting serious about growing that channel, I was like, hey, this stuff really works. If you apply fundamentals, best practices on YouTube to your channel, it is amazing how much faster it grows. You don't have to become an absolute guru on YouTube, but just learning some basic things can absolutely help your channel grow faster. You don't have to change the type of content you make necessarily. You just kind of have to put these things in place so that your channel, it just performs better. It's kind of like tuning your engine. And once you got all these things and you get used to doing them with every video, it was impressive to me how much faster that channel grew. And I used to spend a ton of time, and I still do, in small YouTube groups on Facebook. And as I learned stuff and I saw people that were continuing to kind of make some of the mistakes that I made, I was trying to share that information to let them know. But when you're running a channel about how to fix cars, there's not a lot of authority there in terms of telling or sharing with people how stuff works. So I had this crazy idea that I was going to start Creator Fundamentals from zero and try to share best practices with people on how to grow on YouTube. Now, obviously, you have a credibility issue when you start at zero, you know, but I wasn't going to let that stop me, and I wanted to focus on it in such a way that I never presented myself as an expert. I still don't consider myself an expert. I simply am sharing the things that have been successful for me. Now, and I started this channel in June of last year, and as of the end of 2017, I think it was in the mid 600s or 700s in subscribers, and I put some stuff together here in January, and we've exploded. So now where I used to get a handful of subs a day, right now I'm averaging over 100 subs a day on a channel that has 2,000. So I think that's pretty awesome. And, you know, it's allowed me to expand my reach and share these things that are just, I mean, it's not rocket science on how to grow a YouTube channel. It's just trying to package the information in such a way that people can relate to. I try to keep it as simple as possible and share it with people in, you know, a very matter of fact and common sense way, so they can find, you know, understand it and apply it. And hopefully the goal, obviously, of this channel is that all of you can find the same success that I have found and will continue to find. Hopefully that answers that question. Tyler Scott Illusionist says, is it true that YouTube will still pay smaller channels the remaining amount in their AdSense account when they are kicked out of YPP? So the way that I read that particular portion, it said that people who were monetized, who were no longer monetized, would be paid out according to the current AdSense policy. Now, my understanding of the current AdSense policy is that the minimum payout is $100. So if you had earned like $80 and then you were demonetized, in theory, the $80 would sit in your AdSense account until you actually got to the threshold. That's my assumption on how it would work based on the way they wrote it. Unless any of you guys have heard differently, you can definitely share it in the chat. But prior to growing my channel, I had $67 in the Average Dan, or as a result of the Average Dan channel, for a year and a half. It was just sitting there because it was making pennies. But, you know, once I got to a point when I was making, you know, a little bit more than that, when it finally got to $100, I think it was like 2 years before I got my first payout. So my thought is that it would be, you'd be subject to the minimum withdrawal of the AdSense policies. Rodney B. Hunt is here. Thanks for joining the stream. Good to see you. Let's see here. I think I missed a bunch of chat. Just want to make sure. What editing software, Dan? From the Acoustic Gamer. I am using Premiere Pro. I had to force myself. I had Premiere Pro for probably 3 months before I actually moved over to it. Prior to that, I was using Wondershare Filmora, which I originally bought because it was cheap. It was like 60 bucks. But I think now Filmora has switched to some like a monthly plan like a lot of the other ones. So I finally went over to Premiere Pro, and that's what I've used in 2018 and all the videos I put out so far this year. And that's what I will continue to use as we go forward. So Premiere Pro is what I am using. I don't know a majority of the stuff that it does, but over time I'll try to add new things and get a little more savvy with it. All right. Pam Duthie says she filmed 3 videos today. That's awesome. Exactly, Beanie. This is what worked for me, and it might just work for you too. So Slowboat Sailing says, I'm pretty sure subs don't matter except for channel authority since most won't see your video. I think channel authority has to do with what your channel is most known for by YouTube. So, you know, there's certain things that I think I have channel authority for more so than others. YouTube demonetization, for a long time I had a decent hold on that. And I did a number of videos on it, and I was able to get those ranked 1 or 2 quite frequently. But I think the entire channel authority, you know, it has to do, obviously there are some size considerations and how much watch time and everything that you're pumping out for your channel on a given subject. But even with or without channel authority, you can still get your videos to rank on the first page if you target the right keyword phrases. All right. Kawi Katana says I got 450 and it seems like it's stuck. I've been there. It happens. There's times when it just feels like the subs are crawling, and it's just something you just have to stop looking at the number and focus on making content, and you'll have times when it gets going pretty good too. So you just kind of have to let it balance it out, and as long as you keep improving a little bit each time, your channel will definitely continue to grow. Alex Fishing says he filmed 10 videos today. That's a lot of videos, man. Was that like an all-day fishing trip? Devil Empire, bro, is doing Livestream a nice way of increasing, watch time. Absolutely. I even confirmed with YouTube to make sure that there was no difference between watch time from live streams in terms of the requirements. So live streams are absolutely a great way to do or to build your watch time. You know, so if you aren't live streaming, definitely live stream and try to include them as much as it works for your subscriber base. 020 creative, don't, wrong account. This is Harley. Harley, congrats. I saw your the million lifetime views. That's an awesome accomplishment. Tyler Scott Illusionist, when it feels like subs are crawling, would you recommend trying to branch out into making different types of content? No, not really. I mean, the channels that grow the fastest are the ones that are the most focused. So I wouldn't try going too wide on the type of content that you're making. If subscribers, if it's not moving fast, you can try making more videos on the same topic that you're making. There's also some other things you can do, like an explicit call to action in your videos. Some people put the call to action at the end of their videos. If that's something that you do, there's a good chance there's a lot of people who never make it to the end of your videos. So try moving the call to action up in the beginning. The way I personally make my videos, I try to do a hook, and then I do my branding or my bumper, which is my YouTube simplified logo. And then if I want to do something like a call to action, I tuck that in right after the logo, because you have the whole purpose of the hook on the front end is if you entice somebody to want to watch the content, they'll sit through your logo and they'll sit through the quick, hey, if you like this, subscribe kind of thing. So that's usually where I tuck it, because people are probably not going to bail if your hook was effective. And I think that kind of helps you along there. Zionic CF, is there any way I can get TubeBuddy on my phone, because I don't have a computer? TubeBuddy is a browser plugin. I mean, their website itself you can look at on your phone, but the actual inline tools, to my knowledge, is not anything that would be helpful to you on your phone. G Virus Gaming says, I use tags and all, but I still can't get ranked. Definitely check out a video on how to rank your videos. It's not as easy as just picking tags. There's actually a process by which, ideally, before you even made a video, so like if I'm going to make a video on how to get more views, I don't just make tags that say get more views or how to get more views. I will go to YouTube and I will type in, you start typing in how to get more and you hit space and it'll autocomplete. It'll show you a bunch of different search terms that people are actually using. And what you do is you try to pick one of those that doesn't have a ton of competition. If you get something that has millions and millions of results, your ability to compete with those other channels is probably not as strong. But if you can find something like how to gain more views fast in 2018, you're going to have a much smaller subset of that group, and you'll be able, through making the rest of your metadata relevant, in terms of the rest of the keyword phrases you use, repeating your keyword phrase in your title and your description, it's going to allow you to rank higher in that subset. And that's basically what you want to do as a small channel, because going after the small chunk is going to allow you to gain views and watch time, which will slowly build up, and over time your channel will get stronger in those types of searches, and you'll be able to start to compete at some of the more competitive search terms. Farm Alarm says, any tips on doing collaborations? For me, when I first started, like I said, getting serious on growing, I joined all the small YouTube communities that I could, the ones that are legitimate and not ones where people are just trying to trade attention. You definitely want to get involved with other people who are interested in growing. And then it's just a matter of becoming parts of those communities. The more that you are a part of the community, and when I say a part of the community, it means going in and offering value and not just trying to get stuff from everybody. If you go in and you say, hey, watch my videos, or hey, subscribe to my channel, you just become a nuisance and nobody's probably going to want to interact with you, let alone collab with you. But if you become a member of the community and you give feedback to other people and you share your stories and theirs, and then you build those relationships, and then finding ideas to collab on becomes much more natural instead of, kind of begging for attention. All right, let's see. Trying to catch up on the chat here. All right, Iron Gordon, Avalon Acre Farms. Thanks for joining the stream. Yeah, subs are crawling. We'll be getting a bunch of new videos out. Awesome. I got stuck initially at the 2,000 mark. 100,000 was actually pretty breezy. The first 100 were time consuming. Yeah, I mean, my goal on this channel, or kind of where I set it myself for, was I was trying to get 100 a month. Before the video on the YouTube Partner Program exploded, I was just over 100. So at the 7th month mark, I was at like 703 subscribers. So that was kind of where I was trying to get to, and it didn't start that way. You know, the kind of tried to build up to that, but that's where I was before things got interesting. Car Galaxy Studios with Nick Nimmings doing. Let's see here. Low Budget Gaming, thanks for joining. Hello to you. Late Bloomer will replying to other YouTubers that subbing to their channel help out your channel. If you mean sub for sub, no, don't do it. Definitely all these people that are going around, quote unquote, trying to support each other, that's just sub for sub, and that's just it's a waste of time, and you're putting your channel at risk from receiving a community strike or even being removed by YouTube for a violation of their terms of service. So never offer to support somebody or sub to their channel in return for them subbing to yours, because once they don't care about your channel, they just want the sub from you. So they're not going to be helpful for you. And inactive subs do absolutely zilch for your channel. So, and they do nothing good, and there's a potential they could hurt your channel. So stay away from them. Fun to hunt for the next viral video. DV Nerd 101, how do you do channel reviews? Normally, I will bring up your channel on the screen, and I just kind of go through and look for all the things I know to be best practices and identify the areas where you're doing them and where you're not, and try to give you some feedback on what you could do differently to hopefully help you grow a little bit faster. Oh, I just shot past. You guys are giving me a run for my money in this chat tonight. I appreciate it. Makeup's out. Thanks for joining. Straight 6 fan. All right, let's see. Yeah, and the YouTube will go out and they'll do purges. So you get all these fake subs and you think you've reached the limit and gotten over 1,000 subscribers, and then YouTube comes in and purges 100 from them. Then you're right back where you are. And if you happen to get lucky enough to get monetized based on those fake subs, then you're going to lose those subs. You're going to drop below 1,000 again, and then you're going to get demonetized again, and that would really suck to have it happen twice to you. How is the clarity on the video? Does it look clear to you guys, or does it look a little blurry? All right, Lucasaur Gaming, good to see you. Jerry and Linda's Place, looking for a channel review. Exploring with CF. Titles are one of my big problems. I can't seem to make them actionable. Justin Bennett. Clarity looks good. Thanks. All right, good to know. All right. Yeah, depending on where you are, it could buffer a little bit, but good to know. Everything looks good. Oh, Avalon Acre Farm says blurry. Others say clear. So the chat is simply, I use OBS to do the live streams, and the chat is actually the live chat from the video window popped out, and then I use a window capture to grab the chat and throw it on the scene in OBS. Beanie Jaws, you can tell from the people in this chat because I see you in all the other chats. Be active and interested in the community rather than wanting subs, and you'll get people wanting to support you. Absolutely. Rodney says good on phone. Oh, we just shot by. Geeks of Retro picked up 2 really big clients. Awesome. Congrats. All right, my connection is rubbish, says British Cook. I live with people and I think about streaming but can't do commentary because I help parents watch my niece and nephew. I still live stream without commentary. I guess that depends on what type of live streaming you were going to do. For me, this is why I do my live streams at 9 o'clock at night. Are because I have kids and dogs and I have to wait until this time of night to get it quiet enough to do a live stream. So that's why I do them at 9 o'clock Eastern. BD Jaws says, and you're streaming at 60 frames per second, 1080 and not lagging. You must have pretty damn good internet. We finally just got upgraded on our internet here. It used to be absolutely awful. But we had Spectrum come in and take over what was Time Warner, and then they upgraded all the internet around here. So it used to be a lot worse. It's good to know that it's at least most of the time coming through clear. All right, let's see. Stray Six fans, do you know if there's a way to co-live stream with another channel? I'm doing a Collab Friday, but it's only exposure from my channel, from what I can tell. Yeah, so the way, I mean, yes, you can. You can use something like Zoom or Skype, and you can set up a call with them, and then what you do is you use OBS to do a window capture, and you resize the window capture around each video view within Skype or Zoom. And then you can resize those and put them next to each other in a scene. And you can do your live stream with somebody else that way. So you basically just, cut out each video from Skype. So you get rid of all the stuff that says Skype and you just have a square with their image in it. And then you can put those anywhere you want in the scene and do, have an interaction, have a discussion with the person that you're live streaming with. So absolutely you can do multiple people using something like OBS to kind of organize it all. British Cook, can we all click the like button? Absolutely click the like button. I appreciate that. Pandar's Pets, what is your opinion on making Creative Commons videos to grow? I guess you'd have to elaborate on what you mean by doing that. Do you mean using other people's content to grow your channel? Personally, I'm not a huge fan of channels that just simply upload other people's work. I mean, some of them do it the right way, if there is a right way. But you really want to make the content your own in some way. Like if you're doing a top 10 of something, you definitely want to add your own commentary and your own arrangement of the material that you're sharing, and not simply just take a bunch of other people's footage and upload it and share it that way. So you'll have to give me more details on what you actually mean by using that to grow. All right. Civil Guy, thanks for joining. New content coming out tomorrow. It's always good. DV Nerd 101, how do I get my channel reviewed? Just curious. You just say that you want to get your channel reviewed, and we'll get there a little bit later. Car Galaxy says typing on mobile sucks. I hear you. It can suck sometime. Scotch for Dummies says, hello, Creator Fundamentals. Hello to you. It's Anaflex Animations. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining. X-Profit would like a channel review as well. Oh, I just shot past. Beanie Draw says, I noticed one of the bigger influences recycling other people's interview uploads and cutting them into their own video, which I thought was a bit poor form. Yeah, you know, there's definitely some channels out there that seem to take the lazy approach to content. And there's actually some channels that I'm surprised have been allowed to live as long as they have. I don't know if you guys have ever, what is it, the report of the week, the guy who wears the old vintage suits and does like fast food reviews. I don't know if any of you guys have seen him. He's got a ton of subscribers, and he's just like mesmerizing to watch because of the way he speaks and dresses. But I came across a channel that was simply taking clips of his videos and uploading them with different titles, and that doesn't seem like it takes much effort. Straight Six Fan, appreciate what you're doing here. Gotta go work on sending out some channel stickers. All right, thanks for hanging out. I made the changes you recommend, and it looks so much better. Thank you. Awesome. And yeah, we'll do channel reviews towards the end here. Data 3 is gonna go build a PC with the boys. Oh, gonna do a build. Gotcha. Awesome. That should be fun. Celebrity musician interview. Yep. Even big YouTubers get desperate sometimes. Got a few people who looking for channel reviews. We will definitely get into those. G Brisk, hey there. Nice to see you. Rocket Scientist. All right. I do not think we will be short on channel reviews this evening. Re-uploading is cheating. Yeah, I can see that. I can agree with that. Mohammed Risley, hello, you're doing good. Good luck. Good luck to you as well. All right. Are we good? Are we good? All right. Make sure I didn't miss anybody here. All right. Does anybody have any questions before we head over to... Oh, it's still early. We got plenty of time for freezing on and off for a few of us. Interesting. Freezing on and off. Stream is dropping a bit. Okay. Hey, Gord. Gord Eisman is in the house. Good to see you, Gord. Gord has been on a mission to reach the new YouTube partner program goals, and he's been kicking butt on that. I believe he's good on the subscribers and racing towards the 4,000 watch hours. Anybody else seeing the stream quality go down? Right now I see it as good, but with kids in the house and live streaming a possibility, you gotta, you know. Freezing here too. It's freezing for me. All right, hang on here. All right. Oh, Gord says he's been on other streams and they're freezing too, so I wonder if it's me and my connection or whether there's some other deal going on. Sometimes it's a regional issue depending on the ISP, so. Kawi Katana says, what's more important, views or subs? Neither. The answer is watch time. Watch time is the most important, but if you had to pick one between views or subs, views are probably more important than subscribers. But views don't mean anything if people watch your video for a couple seconds and then click away. So watch time is definitely what you are trying to focus on, and you get more watch time by making engaging content and keeping people in your videos watching them. So your audience retention is an important factor. All right. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can tweak something to get the get it to stop freezing, but hopefully we'll get that ironed out here in a minute. Duck Zorley, I currently have the first level of paid TubeBuddy, but being a small channel, not sure if it's worth paying for the plus level of TubeBuddy. I mean, that's going to be completely up to you and what you think is worth it to you. I use TubeBuddy with every video. I actually have a legend account, and I love the features that it offers. The bulk replacing is something that I use all the time, making changes to all of my descriptions in my videos, and you know, being able to do all that with one update is pretty nice. That's one of the more favorite features on the higher levels. The one of these days I want to do a video on TubeBuddy on the features that a lot of people probably don't use as much as they should, like the promotional links. How many of you guys that are in here right now use the promotional links that you find on the TubeBuddy website, where you can enter in or not? Yeah, I think it's in promo links. Let me double check. Let me look in there and make sure. Where you can actually enter a URL. Oh, promo materials it's called. In promo materials on the TubeBuddy website, when you're logged into your account, you can actually it'll shorten URLs for you, and then it'll track how many people visit the shortened URL, which is a really nice feature if you're trying to determine how well you're converting links either in your description or in other places. So that's a neat feature of TubeBuddy. I think that's available with all of the levels. Gord's got his OBS dialed in. That's good to hear. So how close? 412 hours of watch time to go. Awesome. Getting real close. Rocket Scientist says, so much awesome in this chat, YouTube cannot contain it. All kinds of good people in the chat tonight. Panda's Puppet says, I wish I had A/B testing. Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see the results on A/B testing, because it's not always what you think it might be. It's a really neat way, and it basically, for those of you who aren't familiar, the A/B testing on TubeBuddy will actually rotate. I think it's like every other day. So if you did it for like 2 weeks, every day it would switch between 2 different thumbnails, and then it keeps track of how many people click on each one, and then it shows you exactly which thumbnail got the better response to help you decide which one you should use going forward after the A/B test. So it's a handy thing there. Okay, it's Taylor. I know setting the video to private removes these views from totals. Does it remove watch time too? I would imagine so. Okay, it's Taylor. It removes. I would think it removes all of the data related to that video. So I would think your watch time wouldn't show up either. Switching from XSplit to OBS. I don't think I've ever used XSplit. With the Google URL shortener, what conferences are you wanting to go? So Data3 asks, what conferences are you wanting to go to this year? That's a tough question. I'd like to get back to VidSummit. There's also video, and I always butcher its name. Not Video Marketing World. There's one in Texas that looks like a great one, but they're super expensive. At least for, in my situation where I do this part-time after my day job. So I was trying to come up with some creative ways to share with you guys how to do that. I was actually talking to one of my previous streams. I'm like, maybe if I, like for VidSummit, if I had t-shirts made where I take X number of sponsors for the t-shirts and I fill out the t-shirts front and back with like channel banners from your channels. So you would basically pay to or contribute to get your channel banner on the t-shirt, and then I would wear them while I was at VidSummit. I thought that would be an interesting and fun way to do something like that. But yeah, it's going to cost. Each trip is probably like $2,000. At least that's what it would work out for me. Besides Creator Fundamentals and Tube Ritual Facebook groups, are there others that you would recommend? So the the other ones that are out there. So there's a cool group called Small YouTubers Community. That is, there's a lot of people in that one that are just starting out. If you're just starting out, I definitely recommend that as a good one to get involved with. The other ones, there is, and I'm trying to make sure that I don't butcher all or the names here. So Daryl Eves has a group called Video Makers and Marketers that I found is a pretty good one if you're looking for, some more established YouTubers and trying to learn some of the things that they're doing to be successful. There's also again, I just want to make sure I say their names right. YouTube Creators and Video Marketing, which is I believe it's Jessica Hatch's group. That seems to be a good one. That's not, filled with spam and stuff like that, and people who are actually growing their channels. And then Nick Nimmin has one. YouTube Video Makers. So there's definitely some good groups out there that you can become a part of, and with a lot of with a wide range of YouTubers, from people that are just starting out, like in the small YouTuber community, to, you know, people who are making a living off of YouTube now. So Fantastic Joe, have you tried Morning Fame yet? Yes, absolutely. I actually talk to Nico at Morning Fame fairly often, and he actually has a new keyword research functionality that that he's been developing, which is awesome. You know, I'm trying to... Oh, there we go. Are you... British Cook says, question, what or how does brand protection work in TubeBuddy? Are you referring to brand alerts? I don't know that I've actually seen the term brand protection, but there's a feature in TubeBuddy called brand alerts where you can put in basically terms that it will notify you anytime somebody uploads something that makes reference to that. So like I can be notified anytime somebody references Creator Fundamentals, and it will let me know so I can check it out and make sure that nobody's trying to steal my stuff. So all my software for my channels is freeware and works good. Yeah, there's no need to spend money to be a YouTuber. You know, some of us, when it becomes a hobby, we like to buy gadgets and things that go along with our hobby. But if you want to make a go of YouTube and you want to be successful, you can definitely do it without spending money on a bunch of equipment. I mean, there's I think Nick Nimmin did this thing about a YouTuber in Thailand who I think she was in Thailand, but she basically had over 1 million subscribers filming on a cell phone. So you know, it's definitely possible. You don't have to go all crazy. The first 100 videos on Creator Fundamentals were filmed on my iPhone. So it just goes to show you that you can definitely, I mean, not that the iPhone doesn't have a nice camera, but you don't have to have a special like DSLR and special lighting and all that to do that. So you can definitely do it for next to nothing. All right, trying to read this chat and I'm failing to do so. All right. Morning Fame is a good, easy tool. Yeah, there is a monthly subscription for Morning Fame, but I think it's like a couple bucks a month. It works out to $2 or $3 a month, I think, so it's not awful. And I know that Nico puts a ton of time and effort in developing that software, so. Oh. Exploring with CF says if you're an urban explorer, you'll spend money big time. Endeavoring family, you can report any channel for stealing your content. Yep. Covered the brand alerts. Endeavoring family, first 100 were on cell phone. Dad of 3 says he has 8K worth of coral in his fish tanks. Let's see. Oh, Doug Houston. Chicky Pie. Yeah, that's who it is. The YouTuber's name is Chicky Pie, that has the 1 million subscribers on a cell phone. X-Profit reminding me to review their channel. So here's the thing with, in addition, I'm an affiliate with Morning Fame also, and when you refer somebody who signs up for Morning Fame, you get like another month on your subscription. So I think the next time I have to pay for Morning Fame is like 2019. So I have that going for me. Giveaway every other month. Any suggestions for thumbnail testing? Yeah, I mean, the A/B testing on TubeBuddy will definitely help you test thumbnails. But thumbnails in general, just think, I mean, my goal on my thumbnails is I want high contrast. And the one thing that you want to do is, the way I look at thumbnails is basically to get somebody's attention quickly. A lot of people, they'll like reproduce their entire title on their thumbnail, and you really don't need to do that. You just want to find a catchy way to stop that person from scrolling quick enough or long enough for them to read your title and perhaps get interested and check out your video. So high contrast, stand out from everybody else in the list, and get them to actually click. How do you reach out to get sponsors, and do you think people sponsor smaller channels? So, the thing that I have learned in my limited experience with sponsors is that, and from what I've heard from one of the people that was at VidSummit last year was Sean Doris, and he's been hugely successful with sponsors. Him and Gary Vee apparently did the first sponsorship on Instagram. So he has a lot of experience with sponsors, and his experience seemed to be similar to what I've experienced thus far, which is simply sponsorships are born from existing relationships. So trying to go out to somebody that you've never had any interaction with and say, hey, will you sponsor me? Probably doesn't work that often on the first try. But when you develop relationships, and one of the ways that I suggest this is, don't be afraid to mention a company or a product that you want to be associated with, or you'd like to have sponsor you. Maybe you tag them when you do your videos, or you make mention of them on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Instagram, and just let them know that you appreciate their product. And over time, maybe they'll notice the fact that you are somebody who supports their brand. I think that's kind of similar to how I got the sponsorship here with TubeBuddy, which is simply to I had just that existing relationship. I believe in their product, so I have made a number of videos about them and shared with people and let people know why I like them. And on that note, this is actually a great opportunity to remind everybody, for those of you who don't know, that this video is sponsored by TubeBuddy. And TubeBuddy is the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your channel. And there's actually a link in the description of this video where you can download it and install it for free. There's some additional levels where you can pay for more features, but the basic level of features are available for free. And then you just sign up for it. You download the plugin in Chrome or whatever browser you're using, and it gives you a bunch of cool tools that you can use inline when you are uploading your videos. So I used to do, if you look back at some of my older thumbnails, I did, oh my goodness, probably 50, 60 videos worth of thumbnails in TubeBuddy. So I've since, the thumbnails that I use now, I do in GIMP, now that I've become more efficient at that. But yeah, I did a ton of my thumbnails actually right within TubeBuddy as a, you know, on the screen when I was uploading my video and doing my keywords and stuff. So it's definitely cool that way. Morning Fave is $3.90 a month if paid yearly. I think that's the way to go. Makes it pretty cheap. YouTube 2008, the year of the small YouTuber. Certainly can be. Creative Fundamentals, I can speak about the advertiser side on this. I run a fairly successful Etsy shop a few times every year. We'll get a non-solicited contact from some random channel asking. Yeah, and I've certainly heard that side of it as well. Roberto Blake is somebody who has talked about that he was looking for potential channels to sponsor, and some of the people who pitched to him were just very sloppy and they didn't really have a clear plan and they weren't prepared. And the one thing I will say, if you decide you want to go out to sponsors, you have to be able to demonstrate value. It's not just, hey, I'd really like you to be my sponsor. It's, I think it would be a great relationship for us if you were to sponsor my channel, because I can offer you value. This is how I offer you value. This is the track record I have that shows the value that I can offer you. So if you're trying to go out and get a sponsorship without having any type of proof of value that you're going to provide to them, it makes it kind of difficult. It's not to say that a sponsor won't work with a small YouTuber, but you need to have a way to communicate that value other than your subscriber base. If you don't have enough subscribers to, you know, to demonstrate that you have a big audience for them to sell their product to, because ultimately that's a sponsorship is not just because they think you're cool. It's they're trying to get value out of that relationship and put their product or service in front of your audience. So you have to be able to deliver some kind of value back. Oh, free. Yeah, yep. Send me free stuff and I'll make a video about it kind of deal. I actually had the reverse. On my other channel, on The Average Dan, somebody sent me a product, or they reached out to me and said they wanted to send me a product. And I said, sure, I'll do a review on it on the channel. And then this channel got busy and I haven't gotten to it yet. And I received a number of emails constantly asking me when I was going to do it. Like, I promise I will get to it. And that's the other thing to consider. Once you have a sponsor, you know, you have a certain obligation to continue to deliver that value that the sponsorship is based on. And if you don't do that, you know, you can't just say, I don't feel like making videos this month. You know, that may not work as well for your sponsor. So it's also something you need to consider. The only value a small YouTuber will have, I think, is their content. It depends. I mean, there's some people who live off of YouTube and only have, I think people a lot of times make the assumption based on subscriber size of what, you know, that is the sum of the value of an individual or their brand. There's a lot of people who don't focus on growing their YouTube channel, but they have a very strong business behind it. You know, so their subscriber count could be below 1,000, but they could be a 6-figure company. You know, it's just one of those things that you gotta try not to make too many assumptions based on the size of a channel. And with, you know, there's certainly can be multiple dimensions for any given brand or business. Creative Fundamental, okay, as Taylor, sometimes being super specific to what a company sells is not enough. They can't compete on subs or views, so the best way is to demo your content. Motology 101, tips for branding your channel, channel art, thumbs, video, layouts, titles, etc. The tips, I mean, the biggest tips about branding is consistency and cohesiveness. I mean, you want your thumbnails and your channel art and your icon to all look like they are part of the same design, if you will. You don't want them to be three completely unrelated looking designs. You know, you find your common colors, maybe common text, and you try to build those all together to, you know, form that singular image that is your channel and your brand. Savage Scientist, what up, Rodney? Trying to grow my channel, aren't we all? Okay, so I'm wanting to add a link card to a few of my videos to direct viewers to a game that I'm an affiliate to. In terms of doing the external links, it would have to be one of those. It would either have to be an approved external like retail site, or if you can do, if you have like your personal website associated with it, you could create a page on your website, do your affiliate links on there, and make a verbal reference to the card that leads to your website and tell them, hey, head over to my website, the card's up above, and click on the tab that says cool games or something like that to get people there. Your use of external links must comply with AdWords policies. YouTube ad policies in the community don't use external links to redirect traffic across domains. Yeah, I don't think you would violate anything if you send them to your website and then let them know what was on your website. Savage Scientist thinks the rise of variety is coming. There's certainly variety channels out there, but it's just a matter of the rate of growth tends to be slower from those because you run into the problem where some people subscribe to your channel for one thing and other people subscribe for something else, and you may end up losing subscribers if you tend to favor one type of content over the other for any extended period of time. So Car Galaxy Studio says, for those that never qualified for YPP, you don't get external links. For those that had it but are losing it, you will keep them according. Yes, and also on February 20th, or by February 20th, they're going to come out with new guidelines specifically for external links, which may make it easier to get external links access prior to reaching the requirements of the YouTube Partner Program. So in theory, even if you're not monetized, you may be able to reach some type of lower threshold to get access to those external links that you can use in your cards and your end screens. Is it theirs X or the RSX? I'm not sure where to make the break there, but it's 3 a.m. in Morocco. Thanks for hanging out with us so late. Gen Adventures TV, thanks for joining the stream. Go Pappy Go, bite-sized tips. Good to see you. So Kawi Katana says, does Amazon have something like YouTube coming up? So here's the deal with that. There's a lot of speculation about what Amazon's plans are. For those of you who may have seen it in the news, there has been kind of a little fighting going on between YouTube and Google and Amazon on on a number of different things in terms of, I think it had to do, I'm not sure who shot the first shot, but they've kind of been going back and forth. YouTube pulling their app off of the Amazon platform, and Amazon refusing to sell some stuff from them, and it got kind of ugly. But so Amazon went out and filed trademarks for Amazon Tube, and they went out and got the URL amazontube.com. So there's been a lot of speculation about whether or not Amazon is actually going to move forward with a platform similar to YouTube. I don't think there's been a ton of information out there above and beyond those two things happening, the trademark submissions and the domain registration. But hey, if they do, if Amazon does come out with their own platform, it's definitely going to be interesting. I'll definitely keep an eye on that and share any information that that might come out. Gordon says 51 likes already. Awesome. Boom. So is it the SRX? Did I say that right, or is it pronounced some completely different way? Happily ever after. Very true. For example, some people may have large subscriber base but no social media presence elsewhere, while others may have a smaller channel but huge presence on Facebook. Yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen that, where you have people that have 5,000-10,000 followers on Twitter, but a much smaller YouTube following. So you always want to make sure you know the full picture before you make too many assumptions. And you know what they say about making assumptions. Geeks Retro said, I'm told Amazon will not be an affiliate unless your Twitch account is huge. I mean, I'm a member of Amazon Associates for both The Average Dan and Creator Fundamentals, so I don't know what their actual requirements are. I don't know if they post the specific size, but I would definitely, if you're not currently a member of Amazon Associates, I would definitely apply for it no matter how big you are and see what happens. Savage Scientist is not a fan of the name Amazon Tube. Nate Matos, thanks for having your channel. It's super helpful getting my channel going. Awesome. I appreciate the feedback. Doug Houston thinks Amazon Tube is just a misdirect. We shall see. It could just be posturing. You never know. Daddy Daughter Gamer, I managed to get some episodic content from another channel I run on Amazon Prime Video. It's a lot of work to get videos up there, but the pay is higher. Really, on Amazon Prime Video, interesting. Kids at Heart Channel, first things experiment with TubeBuddy. Yeah, I mean, I would definitely check out the keyword research, both the suggestions and the explore options when you're setting up your keywords. Like I said, there's also some tools, the promo materials on the TubeBuddy website itself. So it is the RSX. Okay, good. I'm doing a really bad job of scrolling through this. Northern Exotics just tuned in. What's going on? We are just hanging out here on this Wednesday night, talking about YouTube and all things growth related. Beanie Jaw says, I think it's less about assumptions and more assume anything is possible and always having backup plans for any scenario. Definitely a good way to go. Evelyn Acres, I applied, they turned me down. I don't have enough subs yet. Did they actually come back and tell you a specific number of subs, or did they just tell you that your audience wasn't big enough? Happily Ever Outdoors, do you think that adjusting and improving tags on older videos can significantly affect new views? I've heard this can help reboot dead videos. I definitely think it can. If you have an older video that you didn't do proper keyword research on to begin with, then yeah, you could absolutely adjust the the SEO on it to get it to show up in search results. Now, if you do that, it'll probably take a little while from the point that you changed it to try to get it, recognized in that with that new focus on it. But it does work. I have done it, and you can definitely get older videos new life by tweaking the keyword phrases and the SEO on the video. The one thing I would say is I think one of the problems people have when they start to get into that game is that they aren't patient enough to let it do its thing. I wouldn't do that more than once on a channel or on a video. I would figure out exactly what was relevant and what it should have been the first time, get it all squared away, and then just leave it to do its thing. Gord Eisman asks, do you know what the qualification requirements are for the Amazon influencer program? No, but I do know that I don't know that they post anywhere. They don't tell you specifically what you need to be part of the Amazon influencer program, or at least I haven't seen the list. I do know that when the Amazon influencer program came out, it was only sent out to a select number of people, and then one day I got an invitation for both of my channels. So I was a member of Amazon Associates already, and then I started seeing people get the Amazon influencer invites, and I went out and tried to apply for Amazon influencer when some of those bigger channels got them, and I was turned down. But then I ended up getting invites for both of my channels at the same time. So, and that was probably subscriber wise, it was probably in the mid hundreds, I would think, back when I received those. So maybe 300, 400, 500, maybe around that time. All right. Yeah, Amazon definitely has their two. The affiliate program, is actually called Amazon Associates. That's the smaller, and then the influencer program is the one where you get an actual customizable landing page where you can add products to the page, which I still think has a long way to go. I'm not overly thrilled with the way that thing is set up, but that gives you it gives you a vanity URL, so it's like Amazon.com/creator fundamentals or something to that effect. So but I don't think that they have specifically or clearly identified what the requirements are. British Cook's got to take off. I'm assuming that's related to his cooking accident. Try not to burn yourself or burn the place down over there. Love Etsy. Does editing a newly uploaded video affect how much the algorithm will suggest it? I've heard some people say not to edit within the first week to be safe. I really think that, and I've seen those recommendations before about not to touch your video in the first week. In my experience, I would rather get the change. If you did something wrong, I would rather get it fixed and then let it do its thing. If you're not getting, hundreds of thousands of views on your videos in that first week, I wouldn't be super concerned about editing the video and destroying its ability to grow, because that's not what happens. Whether you, I mean, if you change like a title completely, you may stunt it for a couple days until it gets its bearings again, but you're not going to, like, if you wanted to change something in your description or add a couple more keywords, that doesn't have any impact on your video's ability to show up in search results. So I would say that if it's not too extreme, and if it's something egregious that you messed up and you want to make sure that you get that fixed, I would say fix it. But there's definitely some larger gurus out there who say not to do it. But in my personal experience, because, you know, I like to live dangerously, editing videos in terms of additive changes have not negatively impacted the performance of the video. All right. Oh, CC battles. That's just not what you do, my man. Oh, tisk tisk. All right. Nam asks, are you monetized yet? I am monetized on this channel, and I actually just, I think it was 2 days ago, hit the 240,000 minute mark. So this channel will remain monetized on February 20th. When the news was announced, I wasn't close. But the video that I put out about the changes went absolutely crazy and gained, I was at 700 subscribers and probably half of the watch time. And in a week and a half, my goodness, I gotta check here because it's been absolutely insane. So right now the channel is at 2,743 subscribers. And it was probably about 10 days ago that I was at considerably less. So all right, can you still? All right. Data 3, congrats, the video found. Ewan, what do you think? Does the 24-hour clock start when unlisted? The 24-hour clock, as in the increased promotion 24-hour clock, or let's see, wait, 2,000 watch hours works too. No, 4,000 watch hours is the limit for getting monetized or staying monetized. Does YouTube allow for bulk keyword changing? I don't think I've done bulk keyword changing, but let's take a look here at something. I'm just gonna look real quick and see what all the bulk choices are. I've used it numerous times for bulk changes to my descriptions, but there's no keywords that I use in every single video, so I'm not sure how you would use the bulk keyword changes. So you can do bulk changes to cards, end screens, find and replace. Let me take a look here. Yeah, so the bulk find and replaces in titles and descriptions. I'm not really sure what keywords you would ever want to put in every one of your videos, so you might have to just explain to me what the scenario would be to do a bulk replace on keywords. Rocket scientist, you deserve it, Dan. Thank you. I appreciate it. Congrats. Gord Eisman says, congrats. You can send some extra hours my way. Would be happy to do that, Gord. Kjpargeter said, I subscribed because of that video. A lot of people did. I appreciate it. Acoustic Gamer, my comment is gone. What was your comment? Yes, Harley, this has been one heck of a month. And I can't wait for the rest of the year because things are going very well. I don't know if I mentioned it, but right now this channel is growing at 100 subscribers a day. Which is insane, by the way. And I recognize the fact that it's insane, but I will put them to good use. Possible to replace a video if you want to update it. You have to delete. You'd have to delete it and upload a new one, Kids at Heart. Yeah, Beanie, and it was interesting because those, right when that happened, I planned those 2 videos. I decided that I was going to do at least 2 videos. One that was simply a kind of an emotional response, followed by a more more how to get past it kind of thing, and it worked so much better than I could have hoped it would. Go Peppy Go says, I noticed the 2.7K, thought I was seeing things. Congrats. Every day I look at those numbers, man, and it feels like I'm seeing things. So Patreon folks love to give patrons unlisted videos. Does that kill your algo chances? No, I mean, in some cases, some people do like an unlisted. They'll keep their video unlisted while they share it and let people watch, start watching it, and then they'll release it to the public, trying to get the view velocity up. But I don't know how much views that happen before you go public really plays into the view velocity. So I think ultimately the relevancy and the timing and the velocity on those videos is why they were so successful. Geeks are Retro, your username for... You don't need to put your username as a keyword in your videos. I used to do it, but I don't anymore. Let's see. Acoustic Gamer, I've been here since 600 subs. Thanks, I appreciate the support. Nate says the harder YouTube makes it for creators, the more people will look for help videos. Yeah, and I mean, it's not... I think a lot of people looked at the changes that were made as it becoming harder. It didn't really make it any harder. I think the biggest people that were impacted were the people that were already making some money, but didn't quite have the numbers to keep on going, which is kind of a bummer. But it's not like everything resets on February 20th. You know, if it takes you till March 1st or March 30th or June 30th to get to those numbers, you know, you're going to have a minor impact for those couple months, but you're going to pick right up where you started off, you know. So if you're up to $80 in your AdSense account, yeah, it'll sit there for however months it takes you to get to those goals. But then once you hit those goals and you make it back in the program, you'll just start counting from that $80, and you'll get to your first 100 and get your payout. So I think it's definitely frustrating from a like an emotional standpoint, but I definitely think everybody can move forward from it. Oh, I remember seeing Malevolent Elephant's channel just going crazy. I'm going to try to leverage that as much as possible. All right. Trying to keep track here. All right, what's a good way? What is a good way to get your video suggested high on your own video? I'm not sure what that means. Do you mean if you're talking about getting your videos recommended next to your other videos? I mean, one of the things with suggested videos is I do think that the view velocity plays into that a lot. And it also has to do with how the view velocity and the growth of those videos compare to the other potential suggested videos for the viewer in question. Like, it was amazing to see some of the referring videos that video that got the 20,000 views came from, that had nothing to do with YouTube growth or anything like that, or the YouTube partner program. So it could just as easily become a suggested video on a news story for somebody who looks at YouTube growth and news. Art and Creations on the way to 1,000 subs, 780 right now, 2,900 watch hours. You're right on pace there. Yeah, so Beanie mentions that the rolling 12 months for your 4,000 watch hours, it's definitely a rolling 12 months. And I think that's kind of interesting, because not only you basically have to have, sustained viewing that stays above that for the duration of your channel. So channels that try to sit back on a single viral video, are going to find themselves falling out of the requirements, because eventually viral videos, trending videos, they're kind of like firecrackers. They shoot up in the air, they get really, really bright, and then they burn out completely. So I think in order to have a good sustained channel over the long term, you really need to have a good mix of those trending videos and then evergreen videos to kind of balance it out. The videos that are going to grow and get more and more watch time over time, in addition to those ones that can kind of capture lightning in a bottle and get some good trending traffic. Gord mentions kit.com. It's an interesting website where you can kind of put products, group products together in kits. I'd be interested to see if anybody's having any great success using that as an affiliate feed. Endeavoring Family had $15 stuck in the AdSense accounts from 2012 and 2015. Yeah, it'll just sit there waiting for you. So Zab's gaming channel, slow gaining subs and views, something like 5K in the past month. What other things should I do to get 4K hours? I've done quite a few videos on the topic. In terms of watch time, I think I just put out a video on how things you can do to improve your watch time. They include live streams, sharing your content within playlists, using the pinned video as a comment every time you do a video. So you make your video, you post it, you take a link to another video, and you pin it to the top of your comment section as related content that people can watch after they watched the video that they're watching. A number of different ways to encourage people to keep watching content, and live streams are a great way to add watch time. Arts and Creations with the super chat. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All my videos are 4K UHD, edited by mobile. Yeah, I've done a ton of videos on mobile. I did, like I said, I did 100 videos on my iPhone, and there were quite a few of them that I edited in iMovie on the phone itself. So that is definitely a way you can do it. And again, yeah, like the iPhone is, my DSLR is not 4K, but my iPhone is. And I super appreciate the super chat, so thank you very much for that. To be in an MCN, you have to be in the YPP. Yeah, I haven't heard any good things about MCNs. Had a ton of clicks through my affiliate links. Only 3 things were purchased the last time I was an affiliate. I'll make more money selling. You know, I feel like I went through some kind of change with my affiliate links, because I used to do not a ton, but a decent amount of my affiliate links through the average Dan, and those kind of decreased a bit. So one of these days I need to go through them all and make sure they don't expire, because I recently sent out my newsletter after sharing a couple Amazon associate links for the t-shirts that I do in the newsletter, and all the links that Amazon provided were no longer valid by the time the newsletter went out. So I don't know what kind of hiccup Amazon was having, but it makes me wonder if they've done that with any of the other short links as well. So Pandar's Puppets, I appreciate you hearing what you think of my channel. 22 videos so far. I'd like to make the best thumbs I can going forward. Absolutely. When we get to the channel reviews, I'll absolutely check that out for you. Beanie Jaws, don't know how to set up my AdSense properly. Initially, it took a year to get my first pay, and then by then I had already had a good subscriber base and some good working videos. Yeah, I mean, I had mine set up for quite a while before I actually got payouts. But now, I think now I have it pretty good. I have both my channels are obviously on the same AdSense account, and I have it set up to get direct deposited into an account. I'm thinking 2018 is easily going to be my best year in terms of ad revenue, just based on what's happened already so far this year. That boost on those 2 videos did fairly decently on ad revenue. So 4K is causing me some issues lately. I've heard that you know, editing in 4K can be intensive for your editing program. So arts and creations, I want to motivate other creators that you don't need any expensive camera lights and setup. If you have genuine content, then your mobile is good enough. Yeah, I mean, and the cameras in phones now are very decent. So you can definitely get by with natural light and your phone. And, you know, just simple things I think that can help people. One of the things I tend to see people do is sitting in front of a window trying to film themselves, when a simple change like putting the window behind the camera and looking at the window is going to light up your face and make it real easy to have a nice looking video. You know, things like that. Or you can go to Home Depot and you get the little shop lights, which is just basically like a big metal shield with a CFL bulb in it. Probably cost you $10-15 to do. You grab a couple of those, stick them on some chairs behind your cell phone, and you know, you have all you need for lighting to make a much higher quality video. You know, you add a tripod or a stand for your phone just to keep it stable, and you can make really decent content that way. Let's Dance says, please help me. Please help me to monetize my channel. 7,000 subs and 2 million views, but my channel is under review. Yeah, I mean, if your channel is still listed as review, they'll get to it eventually. As long as your content is appropriate for ad revenue, I would imagine they would approve you at some point. Unless the content is questionable. Hi all, is it possible to know who unsubscribed to your channel? There's some kind of manually intensive ways that you can figure that out, but why would you want to know who unsubscribed from your channel? That's from S&H Sisters Forever. I don't know if there's a lot of value in knowing who unsubscribed to your channel, because at the end of the day, it just doesn't really, not really going to mean all that much for you. I use SSD and OS drive and external. Still have issues with GPU, but it's a 5-year-old machine. Daddy Daughter Gamer, where can I sign up for your newsletter? It should be, oh, let's mute that. If you go into if you go into the description of this video where it says free guide to YouTube monetization or demonetization, you can actually get to it that way. You can just put your email address in there, and that will get you signed up for the newsletter. It'll also let you download a free PDF on some tips on how to avoid getting your videos to be demonetized, or staying demonetized rather. It seems like Shirley Temple would get demonetized these days, but those usually come off pretty quick. And yeah, any of you that haven't signed up for the newsletter, I definitely head into the description and click that link and head over there and throw your email address in, and I'll try to do some, obviously as we go along in the massive growth in the channel, I'm going to be doing a lot more with that. So, you know, if you want to be kept up to date on things, you know, maybe some exclusive stuff that I'll do outside of YouTube through the newsletter. So definitely jump in that link and throw your email address in there. Don't bother with 4K. Most don't watch it. Arts and Creation says it's all mobile phone only. Yeah, you can definitely make that work. Hardware upgrades in the future. Yeah, I actually just replaced my system this past year to try to get it a little more robust for video editing. It was a little bit painful before I did. Beanie Joe says lost a handful of subscribers and gained significantly more over what I've lost. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, I definitely lose subscribers all the time. Yeah, I know. I'm old. Savage Scientist says most of these kids are too young to know about Shirley Temple. You know, although surprised, I have a 12-year-old daughter, and it's surprising some of the stuff she knows about because it gets reused in different ways in movies and stuff. So everybody's like, who the hell's Shirley Temple? I mean, technically, I'm not old enough for Shirley Temple, but at least knew who she was. It's syndicated, you know. I wasn't watching a ton of Shirley Temple as a kid, but I was aware of her. Happily Ever Outdoors says pinned comments is a great tip. It's helped me noticeably. Yeah, I mean, it's a little thing, and I think I said this in a video the other day, is, you know, success on YouTube is doing a lot of little things over time. It's not about this, you know, great big secret that somebody has that makes them super successful. It's the people who are willing to do all the little things over and over again for the next 12 months that are going to have the success. So it's, you know, you kind of have to decide whether or not, you know, you're in it for that. But that's basically how that does. Savage Scientist, I'm 40 today is my birthday. Happy birthday, Savage Scientist. I will be 41 on February 14th. So our birthdays are pretty close to each other. Well, my daughter knows the name Shirley Temple because that's what she orders when we go out to a restaurant, which is like a fancy name for like ginger ale with cherry juice in it. I guess that's what I'm not even sure exactly what's in a Shirley Temple. All right. Interesting. Started testing TubeBuddy. Wow, very powerful software. TubeBuddy's great. Like I said, I was thrilled to get him as a sponsor because it was a perfect fit, because it's something that that's an easy, you know, easy for me because I find a ton of value in the stuff that they do. And hey, for anybody that just joined, I mentioned it earlier, but I will mention it again because I love them. TubeBuddy is a sponsor of this video. And for those of you who don't know, TubeBuddy is the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. There's a link in the description below that you can click on and download it and start using it for free. So if you've never used it, definitely download it, mess around with it, see what kind of features it has to offer you. And you can also, if you want to see the, you know, some of the other features that are available on some of the paid tiers, but you can definitely download it for free and check out a bunch of stuff that it can do for you. If you do decide that you want to do one of the paid tiers, there's a couple different things. First of all, they help out small YouTubers because they have discounts. There's certain things that you can click on, like if you're under 1,000 subscribers, they give you a discount on the paid versions. So definitely go and take a look at that and see. It does get fairly affordable if you're under 1,000 subscribers, and there's some other things in there that you can check on. If you don't meet any of that criteria, you can use my promo code, which is Dan's Buddy, and that'll give you 20% off. But it's definitely worth checking out. SRX says mine is February 8th. They say Legends born in on February. Absolutely. Sandra Sneed, will you describe your live setup? The frame, your sound equipment, etc. So the graphics and everything are done in OBS. And so it's basically in OBS, I have my Logitech C920 captured for the video. I made the border in GIMP, which is basically the background image that I use for my thumbnails that I cut a big rectangle out of, so it was empty in the middle. And it is a text source at the bottom with a scrolling filter applied to it, which gives you the scrolling marquee down there, the scrolling text. Then I overlaid my logo in the lower left-hand corner. In terms of the equipment that I'm using, again, the Logitech C920 for the camera. I have a MXL 770 mic here, condenser mic, that is plugged in to, I don't know if I can get this to you. It is plugged in to a Zoom H4n Pro, which is acting as an audio interface. As you can see, every time I talk, it's recognizing my audio there. And that is fed via USB into my computer. And I think that pretty much covers the setup on that. Hopefully that answered your question. Where'd you go? I lost you. Shield fan says hello, good to see you. All right, let's see here. Trying to get back to my spot in the chat. I don't know why I keep losing it. BizHacks was testing out. Oh, there it is, Sandra Sneed. Hopefully that gave you the answers you were looking for. Lemon, lime, soda, and grenadine. So that's, yeah, see, Harley knows. New every day. Just started my channel. How to get some subscribers. Thank you. Start watching videos. There's a number of videos on my channel on how to get more subscribers. Definitely check those out. But there's a number of different things you can do to help get subscribers faster. Sandra, OBS is free software. If you go to obsstudio.com, you can download it for free for Mac or PC. And that allows you to build the scenes and stuff, and it integrates with the live streaming of YouTube. Review Tech says, hi, bro. Hello, bro, back to you. Open broadcast. I'm getting demonetized. It sucks. Yes, it does for all of us. You just gotta submit your reviews and move on. Everlasting Media, your videos are wonderful, by the way. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Does paying TubeBuddy really help your channel? If it does, how do you use it to maximize my channel? Does paying TubeBuddy, if you're talking about the paying for the advanced tiers, I just think it saves you a ton of time. I mean, that's pretty much the goal of any tool, is to allow you to do stuff more efficiently in less time. And I mean, for that reason alone, it saves you money. You know, to be able to get all that, to get all the work done, just like I said, doing thumbnails or doing keyword research or doing the bulk replacing. It just makes everything a lot quicker to do. Nate, I'll be on a Creator Fundamental binge tonight. Awesome, I appreciate it. Scotch for Dummies, we use it every Thursday for our live streams. Love OBS, very powerful. Yeah, OBS is a great tool. It's, I mean, for as much as it does, for it to be free is even better. Hey, your live stream has a problem that it ends. Love your videos. Thank you. I appreciate it. Panda Puppet, I think 50 is the new 35. Wait, does that mean I'm... 50 is the new 35. Does that mean I'm like 25? Awesome. Yeah, if you haven't live streamed yet, it's definitely something you should make a part of your channel. I mean, especially for building watch time. It's awesome for building watch time. Everlasting Media, I've heard that being patient is very important when starting out. What do you think? So as I was talking about earlier, the idea that to be successful on YouTube is about doing a lot of little things right over time for a long period of time. So patience is absolutely critical. The people who tend to fail at YouTube are the people who get fixated on how many subs they have, or they want to grow super fast. One of the biggest problems with YouTube is the highest profile people on YouTube are all the successful YouTubers. And what people tend not to realize is they'll see Philip DeFranco, or they'll see PewDiePie or Casey Neistat, and they'll be like, I want to be like them. But what they don't realize is they weren't watching all those people when they were putting in their 10 years to get to that point. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to take you 10 years to become that successful, but a lot of those channels have been at this for a very long time, and people tend to see that and want to just skip all the hard work and become a successful YouTuber. And then they start to do, silly things like sub for sub and trying to cheat the system, and it just doesn't work. You can't be successful that way. But if you're willing, if you can look at YouTube and say, I am in this for the next 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, I am willing to put in that effort over that time. The idea with the 2 videos I had that just exploded, I put in, prior to that, I was using best practices from day one, and it took me 7 months. In those 7 months, I did like 103 videos, and it was one right after the other, using all those best practices, and eventually it became a situation where, preparation met opportunity and success was born. And the video started, or the channel started to take off, and having that additional exposure and being prepared for the exposure, because that's one thing. You get a viral video and your channel looks like crap, and you get all this traffic and people look at it and they don't want to subscribe to it. That's not going to be a recipe for success. But if you have 7 months of content, if you have 103 videos that all have cohesive branding, that everything's working together, that the channel page is designed in such a way to encourage people to subscribe to the channel, and then you get all that exposure, then it just obviously wonderful things can happen. You can get 2,000 subscribers in a little over a week. You can go from 100 subscribers a month to 100 subscribers a day, which is what this channel is currently gaining, which is insane. And not every, you know, micro viral video or whatever you would call this that jumps into those suggested videos and takes off is necessarily going to be quite that successful. But I think a lot of the success and how much I've been growing since that is because I put in the time without any of that feedback or that reward. YouTube is very much a delayed reward model. So you have to understand that. You have to understand that it's a marathon, and you have to know that you're putting in the effort now that's going to reward you in the future. Quite honestly, I didn't think it was going to give me this kind of feedback quite this soon. So I'm very blessed and happy that it has so far. But I think that you need to be prepared for that when it happens. You can't react to it after the fact and try to build something successful. You have to lay the groundwork without any of those rewards. So when your time does come, everything clicks and, you know, you take off like a rocket. Savage Scientist, I'm doing a monster live stream driving Uber during Mardi Gras. That driving, oh my lord. As in Mardi Gras in New Orleans? That has got to be an absolute ridiculous experience for any of you who's ever been to Mardi Gras. I can only imagine the type of riders you'll get during Mardi Gras. Ronnie had a 70D first, easy to use. 70 autofocus better than G7. Been at this for 1 year. So, Doug, you bring up an interesting thing, because one of the I've seen some prominent YouTubers in kind of my niche that do the live stream with replayed content, and I gotta tell you, I'm not a fan. I think there's a certain loss of authenticity when you join a live chat and you think somebody's live streaming, only to realize that they're showing you a recording of a previous live stream. You know, especially when they go so far as to make a time reference that doesn't match the day and you realize they're doing it. But I personally don't like, it's something that I would never do. Live streaming, that one of the things about live streaming is that real-time interaction. And I think it's kind of, it feels kind of cheating when you're replaying content as a live stream. So what do you guys think about that? What are your thoughts if you were on a live stream like this and you suddenly realized that what you were watching was recorded content? Happily Ever After said that while a small YouTuber discount is cool. Yeah, definitely worth checking out on the TubeBuddy. And I mentioned that earlier for those of you who don't know. There's some like check boxes that you can check to if you want to upgrade on TubeBuddy, where they give you discounts for being a small YouTuber. So they definitely support the small YouTube community and make it a little bit easier for you to use some of the tools and help you grow. I don't know why when I try to scroll through the chat, it'll suddenly just jump all the way to the end and I have to work my way back and find out where I was. No mic input. Oh, talking about different cameras. Looks like some vlogging options versus DSLRs. Biz Hacks, I was happy having 40, but then I saw your channel and your help. My subs went way up to 260. That's awesome. It's amazing. Yeah, once you... So on the average Dan, I basically spent 2 years to get like 160 subs. And then in the next 3 months, 3 or 4 months, I got it up to like 600 or 700. And I'm like, hey, wow, this stuff really works. I should do this more. And, you know, the rest was history. So the average Dan, which is my other channel, I think it's in like, it has like 837 subs and 500,000 minutes of watch time. So I got to get it up to 1,000 subs before the 20th to make sure that it stays monetized. Which is tough because I haven't been uploading content to it because I've been focusing all my efforts on this channel. Go Pappy Go says it's the brick wall backdrop. That's made all the difference. Be a creator. I tried so much to contact you. You can contact me in all kinds of different ways. You can always email me at askdan@creatorfundamentals.com. I'm available through my Facebook group, which is facebook.com/groups/creatorfundamentals. For those of you who are not a member, definitely head over there and join the group. We talk about all stuff Facebook or YouTube related in that Facebook group. Jerry and Linda's place that they're going to do a live stream about husband's experience as a key witness in a murder trial. Everlasting Media, your channel is invaluable to the YouTube community. I appreciate that. I do what I can. Great live stream. Thank you. Yeah, patience is essential. A lot of people get really frustrated on YouTube and they don't, without patience, I mean, you're just setting yourself up for failure. Creator Fundamentals is still on sale for folks. I think they still have the option, Endeavoring Family, to do the discounts for less than 1,000 subs. Be Creator again, wanting to contact me. It's not that hard. I think I'm pretty accessible, especially in this niche. I think I'm probably one of the more accessible people. Did short replays. I don't want to go, but I got to work in the wee hours. Later, everyone. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for joining the stream, Rocket Scientist. I appreciate it. Going to try to start doing these every Wednesday, so definitely see you next Wednesday, hopefully. You'll get there. Doug Houston's helping be a creator. Figure out how to contact me. Hey Zabs, there's probably a lot of ways that you can up that. Live streams and other tricks to help get more watch time, so don't think it's impossible. $208 hours to go on my 4K. hour and 30-minute video. Wow. Yeah, I don't do videos anywhere near that long. That's huge. Write down what I say before I do my videos. Is doing live stream the same? So one of the things that BizHacks asks about writing down videos, one of the things that I suggest, especially if you're just starting out in live streams, as awesome as this live stream has been tonight, when I've certainly done live streams that nobody showed up to, and more so on my other channel than this one, but the way you counteract that and you make that a non-issue is by coming up with something to talk about regardless of whether anybody shows up or not. So come up with like a video topic as if you were going to make a regular video, and then turn it into bullet points, and then go live. And in the beginning of your live stream, whether there's anybody in the chat or not, you basically go through that part of your video. So you introduce yourself, you do your normal intro. If you want to, you can set up a transition with like your logo, which I keep trying to remind myself to get back into my OBS, but I haven't done that yet. But you do that, and then you go into the content, and you basically spend the beginning of your live stream covering the content as if you were doing a video. And that does a couple different things for you. And basically what it does is it gives you something to talk about if there's nobody to talk to. It creates meaningful content on the front end of the live stream, and then what it can do for you later on is, one, after you're done with it, if there's nobody there and nobody on your live stream, you can always end your live stream. If there are people, then you can engage with them and have the conversations and stuff after the content. And then what you can do to gain even more watch time and help grow your channel is, once you're done with that live stream, you can leave the live stream as it is up there for people to watch replays. And you can also download the live stream, edit off the front end of your live stream, which is all that content, and upload it again as an individual video with just the content for people to consume as a completely separate video. There are some people who prefer the live stream experience and want to go in and watch the whole thing, and there's other people who just want to see the content. And you basically have now two different forms of content with one effort to help get more watch time and views and stuff on your channel. So Devering family. Yeah, if anybody wants to, here. That is the link to TubeBuddy. You can definitely go over there and download it for free. Kjpargeter, I am from India, creating videos in my language, which is Malayalam. Probably messed that up, but it'll be very hard for me to get sponsors. Or how many subs should I have to get a sponsor? It's not so much a sub thing in terms of sponsorships. I would imagine if you're doing videos in that language, you would probably want sponsorships in that language. And that's really going to just depend on the opportunities out there and the kind of relationships that you develop with the companies who would potentially be a sponsor to you. DV Nerd 101. No, we did not do channel reviews yet. used to write out everything I was going to say word for word. Then I realized how much time I wasted because you spend time researching, just speak from my mind. Yeah, I usually try to, I mean, sometimes I'll do bullet points. Sometimes I will, I'll write down bullet points. Other times I'll just kind of organize bullet points in my head. Sandra Sneed, what are some organizational tools you use to schedule your content? I actually did, there's a couple different ways you can do that. I have used, I use Evernote to keep track of topics that I want to make videos on. And I've scheduled things out there. I've just made like a list by the month and do it that way. I know other people have used Trello, which is a free service that allows you to kind of map things out. You can use that to create a schedule. I also recently did a video on like the top 5 apps for YouTubers that you can check out on the channel. It kind of goes into that somewhat. Can you not hear me be a creator? Or because I answered your question above. I don't know if you, oh, you did, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. I don't really have a sense of when everybody said what they said, so. It does not want to scroll smoothly for me. Yeah, you definitely learn by doing on YouTube, so don't be afraid to, or don't get caught up with trying to make everything perfect to move forward on YouTube. You do the best you can with what you know right now, and as you move forward, you grow, and each time you upload a video, you learn something new and you get a little bit better, and over time, you know, your content will continue to improve, and someday you'll look back and be amazed at how much everything has changed. I mean, I thought I had a general idea of what I was doing when I started this channel, but go back and look at some of the early videos. They are, I feel like I'm screaming at the screen. And the green screen wasn't always the best. Yeah, Doug, the chat delay. Ninja Killer 560, Facebook, or message me on Facebook. I'll check that out after the stream. All right. Aquarium Lover says, hi, Dan. Hello to you too. What application you're using in live? Says Daily Cinemas. I'm using OBS, Open Broadcast. I do that all the time, Ninja Killer. I'm like, wait, is that for me or someone else? It's kind of like the night at the Roxbury when they think the girl's waving to them. the RSX 4 a.m. That is either a late night or an early morning. Right now it's 11:15 here in upstate New York. If you're talking to me, Data 3, that's a green screen. I don't know if you're talking about my current backdrop isn't a green screen. My early videos were green screen. Tastefully Balanced, thank you for all the advice you provide in your channel. Thank you for watching my channel. I appreciate it. what is this? All right, don't know what was going on there. My sub sign. This is definitely not a fake. My father made that sign, and I took a flat ribbon of LEDs and wrapped it around it. Oh. Tastefully balanced. I meant to say thanks. Did I read it back as that's? 11:16 in Michigan. Daily Cinemas asks, are you using DSLR or laptop cam? Neither. I'm using a Logitech C920 webcam. Super Bowl party at my... I am actually having a Super Bowl party at my house. Well, it's... I don't know if party is the right word, but a get-together. um... 9:15 Rocky Mountain time, 11:18 in North Carolina. All right, I think maybe we should do some channel reviews now. Maybe I might get to bed by midnight. Are you in upstate New York also, Car Galaxy? Yes, I am actually selling the small YouTuber shirts. You can get them on Amazon right there. Yeah, let me hang on here before it gets all crazy here. I have to go back, hang on, and RSX, and I think X Profit, due to all the reminders, gets the first nod on channel reviews. I think we might have quite a few, so these are going to be some quick channel reviews. So make sure you're Cowie, Katana, Patriots, or Eagles. I got to go with the Eagles in this Super Bowl because I am a Miami Dolphins fan, and there's no way I can root for the Patriots. And I apologize if I don't get these in exactly the right order on the channel reviews, but I'm trying to just get everybody written down here, and I'll do them real quick so we don't take too long getting to any individual. And depending on how big this list is, I may have to cut it a little bit. Doug Houston says, drop those super chats. Yeah, if you want to move to the top of the line on the channel reviews, super chats definitely help support the channel, and I will definitely help get your channel review to the top of the list. Because I know there's just a ton. I don't want to go too far past midnight, so I'll do as many as I can. Bizhack says he's ordered one of the shirts. I appreciate it. All goes to help the channel grow. Super chat, it's that little, if you're on a desktop, it's the little square icon next to the smiley at the bottom of the chat with a $sign on it. It lets you make contributions to the creators on YouTube as a way to show your support for a channel. And in turn, it gets you, you can type a comment with it, and it pins your comment with a color bar to the top of the chat. The more that you contribute when you do the super chat, the longer it stays at the top of the screen. So if you want to share a message with either the creator or the rest of the people in the chat, it's a great way to do that. Thank you very much to Kjpargeter for the $10 super chat. I appreciate it. SRX says that super chat's not allowed in their country. Thank you, Kjpargeter. That puts you at the top of the list. And just going to scroll back here. Eagles will probably win. Isn't Brady injured? I never believe that Brady's injured, because every time you underestimate the Patriots, they come out and score 60 points on somebody. So as everybody can see, anybody who had questions about Super Chat, Kjpargeter donated the $10 Super Chat, so it gave him the big yellow bar on the donation, and if a comment had been added, it would also display along with that. Simply Stone. Origin. I bet his wife loves the fact that he's smart. I'll tell you that right now. Not sure who that's for. No mate, mad with Brady. Oh, Brady's wife, maybe. Thank you, Doug. I appreciate all your help in the chat. All right, real quick, anybody who's in the live chat that wanted a channel review that hasn't mentioned it recently. Right now I have Kjpargeter, X-Profit, DV Nerd 101, the RSX, Aquarium Lover, Science Gal Aquatics, Avalon Acre Farms, Daily Cinemas, and Simply Stone. If I didn't mention your channel name, definitely let me know. Like I said, I'm going to do as many as I can. If you definitely want to guarantee yourself a spot, you can certainly use the live chat to bump yourself up. Thank you, Dad of 3, for doing that. We'll get you up there. All right, here. And animations to round it off. All right, so channel staying. Okay. All right, so I think we have maxed out that list right now. Oh, Pandars. Did I have you on? I know. Okay, Pandars. Puppets. Thumbnails we want to take a look at. I'll get you at the end of the list. All right. Let me get... We're going to get moving here on these channel review. Oh, hang on. Oh, Kjpargeter doubling up for Motology 101. All right. Awesome. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. All right. And let's get hopping here. Okay. So the first channel we are going to look at is Kjpargeter. We will pop that up on the screen here. Combining my love of motorcycles, tech, and my wife. A little bit of everything going on here. All right, so you definitely identify what you're doing content about. Let's check out your focus of this channel. Thing we call bike life. I want to share my knowledge. Motorcycles, different events with my wife. Bike life culture, cool. And I think your channel art sticks out. It's nice and clear. It's easy to read. The one thing that I would probably notice on your channel art is you might want to consider pulling this up on your mobile phone and seeing whether parts of your text get cut off, because it seems a little bit wide. That's one thing to consider. Whether or not it displays on mobile. A lot of people use mobile. It could even be up to, you know, like half or more of your viewers that way. So just something to consider. But yeah, definitely wide on the mobile front. And I just want to look at your videos here. So typically one of the things that I look for with branding on your channel is whether or not your content is identifiable as yours. So like I can see the relationship between this, like your icon and your channel art, being that it looks bike related, but you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell based on this image that it's the same people in the picture. Also, your thumbnails kind of all have their own design going. And what you really want to try to do is find some consistency into the design so people can look at like this thumbnail right here and know it comes from the same channel as this one right here. So anytime you can get all of these elements working together as like a single cohesive branding, it kind of helps drive the overall message of your channel to your viewers and will entice people to subscribe to your channel. The other thing that I recommend for your channel page, and let's see how good we're doing here. So right now you just have the default uploads here. What you want to do is actually create playlists, which I see you have some playlists here. I'm not sure if this is all your content or not. It looks like you have playlists for other people's content. I'm thinking some of this is, but basically you want to organize all your videos into playlists. And what you can do on your channel page is you when you're logged in as you, there'll be a little option down here to add section, and you want to start listing out your playlists as like horizontal, single horizontal playlists, which will expose more of your thumbnails and your videos and give people the opportunity to see your content and see more of your content, more likely to get them to click on something that they're interested in, which obviously is going to help your channel grow, help you convert viewers into subscribers, you know, get more watch time, etc., etc. So those are just some of the things that you can do to kind of help spur your channel along. We're going to try to keep these as quick as possible. And let's see what okay, it says it's not. I'm not sure which one that cool. All right, so next channel up is going to be dad of 3. All right, so here we have the dad of 3. Dad of 3, subscribe and follow us on social media. It's hard to tell if this one's going to fit in mobile or not. It looks a little bit wide, but that might just fit. You'll have to let me know whether that fits or not, but I think I definitely like what you're doing here, dad of 3. What I would do, especially since you're trying to grow the channel, I wouldn't worry about this follow us on social media. I would be more likely to replace follow us with social media on some type of short description of what you're actually making videos about. I mean, your name obviously suggests that you're the father of the 3 children that are shown, but you're not really giving us an insight into what type of content. You know, are you vlogging about being a father of 3? Are you following your children through, you know, some specific thing? Whatever you can share with people that help them. I mean, this is kind of your billboard. So when somebody comes to your channel, they're going to make a decision about whether or not they want to continue to watch your channel and see more content. So you want to capture their attention and you want to give them the information they need as quickly as possible. So I would think that, you know, dropping the follow us on social media and saying, you know, vlogging the life with my 3 kids weekly or 3 times a week or something like that, that tell people exactly what you're doing here. So come along, so like this right here. So toy reviews, helpful tech, and, you know, parent vlogs or whatever. So you could even do something like, you know, toy reviews, parent tech, whoops, you know, that kind of thing, to let people know exactly what your deal is here. You got your uploads there, popular uploads, created playlists. I definitely prefer to get, once you have at least 5 videos in your playlist, I prefer to kind of spread them out. When you do these, when you list them as playlists, it kind of hides everything and doesn't really give people a lot of visibility into what you're doing. Whereas when you get something spread out like the popular uploads is, which basically what the single horizontal playlist will look like, you get them to see all the different thumbnails you have and the title. And I think it's just a really good use of real estate to show people your content and get people interested. One of the other things that you can do to kind of try to spur more traffic and grow your channel is to sort your playlists by most popular. So the videos that have proven to catch people's attention and get them to watch more of it, get those on the front end of your playlists to, you know, basically put your best foot forward and help you grow. Just want to see on your playlist here, Star Wars reviews, toys under 5, toy reviews. And again, so one of the other things you can do with your playlists is you can kind of use them as a guide on how to build out your content. So in this case, you have a couple videos where you don't have 5 videos in them yet. So, you know, maybe that gives you, okay, hey, the next videos I'm going to do at least another Star Wars review, and I'm going to do another video about toys under $5 to kind of fill out these playlists. So if you're searching for a video topic, a great way to do it is to create multiple playlists and kind of work on getting them filled or switching between them to deliver that content to your viewers. And keep getting the autoplay. All right. And again, on your thumbnails, I wanted to mention this to you the other day. The text on your thumbnails is way too small. So if we go in and we look at these videos, this teeny tiny stuff here, couple different issues with this is when you put text over a photo, you're constantly switching between different contrasting colors in the background. So you're going to overlap some lights and some darks, and what happens is there's parts of the text that gets washed out. The way you can deal with that is to put like solid bars behind your text, and definitely want to use less text and you want it to be bigger. So like this one where you put, I need more time with my kids, raising a family in a modern world, way too much. I would, you know, as an example, I would do make time for kids, you know, or more time with kids. You really want to learn to get the message as concise as possible. You kind of want to get it down to one focal keyword. You know, what is the primary topic, and then try to make that short little phrase that captures their attention. And you definitely, like the one down here, I can't read that text at all. I have no idea what that says. So it's definitely too small and there's not enough contrast. So if you have the ability, you want to get an outline around your text, possibly that's in a different contrast, or you just want to put a contrasting box behind the text so people can actually read it. So that would be my suggestion there. And also, if your video, if it's DAT of 3, I would almost consider using this image or a similar image and start including it in all your thumbnails to identify the fact that your thumbnails are yours. And by doing that, people will get used to, hey, this is the DAT of 3. These are the 3 children. They appear on all the thumbnails, and people start to recognize them as part of the brand, which you very much used them as part of the brand at the top. And if you can carry that down into all your thumbnails, it will help people with that brand identification to understand exactly you know, which content is yours and help people find it. And here comes the cat once again to make her introduction into the live stream, and she's getting so noisy. If you're coming over here, come over here already and stop talking so much. Come on. All right, she wants to make an appearance. She wants to be famous. There she is. Say hello to everybody, since you had to interrupt without sinking your claws into my... Oh yeah, that's wonderful. All right, you're here now. Chill out. And you want to do some channel reviews? Okay. Pay attention to the screen. Jabs Adventures, thank you for joining the stream. All right. And hopefully she will settle down and not draw blood while she's sitting here. We'll be good. All right. Next on the list. Okay, and getting that fired up here. Give me just a moment. Are you're gonna... Can you hear her purring in the microphone? Where did it go? There it is. All right. All right, so the next channel up, and stop the autoplay. All right, good, is Motology 101. check this channel out. All right, so here's the thing that I'll say about the header is I almost feel like I know what they were going for, but they just missed it because it's a couple different things here. One, it's not optimized for mobile. So if you try to view this on mobile, it's probably going to look like Tology or Otology 1 because the sides of it are going to get cut off. The other thing I notice is I'm assuming just below this, which is completely indistinguishable in the channel art, is it's a motorcycle based on the content that I'm seeing down here. I think you definitely want to reframe this so you can see that it's a motorcycle, because right now it's kind of just too hard to discern exactly what's down there. I can kind of guess it's a motorcycle based on the content I see below it, but I think you could do a much better job of presenting the motorcycle up here to give people an idea of exactly what the content is about. So taking a look down here, we got your uploads. Again, reoccurring theme with thumbnails is you really want to get everything going together. I see you're using green up here. You got your motorcycle 101 here, so we kind of have a sense of what's going on. I may sneeze here any moment, but then we lose that green and we're not doing anything with the green. You have this one video here which looks like your intro, which is cool, but I would find a way to incorporate this on every one of my thumbnails, whether it's taking this circle and including it in your thumbnails or doing a green border on them. You want to find a way to get all this stuff tied together, because that's what helps build your brand and makes people recognize your channel and your content. So it's very important that you can do that. Obviously, you have a specific font that you've used in your header. I wouldn't necessarily choose that font for thumbnails because it's a little bit decorative, but I would try to find a nice high contrast font to use and try to minimize the font that you're using in your thumbnails, and try to be consistent with the way that you do it. A couple thumbnails here that are a really good example. Always try to avoid using text in the lower right hand corner of your thumbnails, because as you can see, the timestamps will obscure the text. So try to keep your text towards the left, upper left, or try to stay out of this lower right hand corner, because this timestamp takes up even more room on a mobile thumbnail. So when you're looking at it on a phone, this timestamp comes out to here and really obscures stuff. So definitely want to fix that. And you want to, like I said, find a reoccurring way to do your thumbnails so they all look like they came from the same channel. Like if I was on this Mobbing Atlanta thumbnail, there's no way I would know that it's associated with this channel art. They don't look like each other. There's nothing that relates them to each other other than they're both about motorcycles, or at least we think this one's about a motorcycle, but you can barely make it out up there. So and I don't know if this is less visible because of the newer version of YouTube. Something else to consider as people start to use the newer view. But I would definitely work on finding a way to tie these all in, whether it's as simple as putting like a green bar down the side with maybe your icon down here, and doing some consistent colored text rather than jumping all over the place with all the different colors. Most of it is generally, I mean, there are some exceptions, but it's fairly easy to read text on a lot of these. But I would try to get some consistency in color and placement and that kind of stuff so people start to recognize it as yours. About section, lover motorcycles and my experiences. I hope you enjoy my adventures. You can also consider some of that descriptive stuff in your actual channel art. Motology 101, kind of an interesting name, but doesn't really tell anybody what your channel's about. So you may even want to consider doing a tagline under that to let people know exactly what's going on. All right. And we're moving along here. Settle down, kitty. All right. Acres Farm says, so the thumbs should basically stay the same. You don't want you definitely don't want all your thumbnails to be the same, but you want to have elements in them that tie them all together. So you can definitely use frames from the videos that they're about, but you just want to find a subtle way to make them all look uniform. You know, whether that's a green frame with maybe a little icon in the lower left-hand corner for your branding. You just want to figure out a good way to identify that they're all related to each other. And definitely, if you're somebody that appears in your videos, then you can definitely use your face as... All right. Pretty sure the cat just drew blood, but we're good. Very skittish tonight for some strange reason. But if your face is if you appear in all your videos, your face is part of your brand, and you can use it as a way to create that unification of all your thumbnails. So. All right, so the next channel up is Kjpargeter. Here we are, Kjpargeter baby. All right, so I'm guessing by the channel art that this is gaming related. I don't think there's enough in the channel art to identify any specific games, or if it is, it's games that I'm not familiar with. We jump in the About section. One day, we all gonna die, so don't stress life. Mobile Legends and Castle Clash commentary daily. Also play other games when I get bored. Things take time, don't rush it. So the saying is cool, but I would probably lead with what your channel is about more so than the quote. Mobile Legends and Castle Clash commentary daily. Also play other games when I get bored. I would kind of, I mean, from a growth perspective, I might change the wording of when I get bored to something like, you know, make reference to a variety of other games or something to that effect. But and then let's take a look at the actual content here. Videos. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 is all right. So I'm curious here. So I'm not sure if you had other videos on this channel, but the 1878 subscribers on 3,000 views. Seems a little unusual. In any event, basically all of these thumbnails are kind of all over the place. They're all completely different, and there's no way to identify them as being part of your channel. So I would look for a way to get all this stuff unified like this. If this is your icon that you're going to use, for one, you kind of have this X here that looks completely different than the X that you're using in your channel art. But either way, I would try to find some unity between those and maybe find a way to incorporate it in your thumbnails so people can identify it as your content. And then as you get more content, you definitely want to start getting those horizontal playlists on your channel page to kind of spread out the to kind of show more of what it is that you're doing here. So yeah, Kjpargeter said I had to private them because of copyright. Yeah, see, that's kind of what I was thinking there, because it looked like I would assume you would have had to have a lot more views than that at some point. Yeah, and I mean, that's a good, the using other people's content is never going to be a long-term solution to success, because it'll all catch up. So it's just almost always better to just do your own stuff and not, not try to use something somebody else has created. I think it's going to be a lot, now that YouTube has changed the rules, I think it's going to be a lot harder for people to do that. So it makes it a lot more difficult. Hello, Jash Outline. All right. Next up. Oh, what happened? Try that again. Next up. All right, here we go. All right, the RSX. So I'm guessing that this is, let's see, right off the top, you definitely have the consistent branding between these two, but I don't know what your channel's about. And that right there would be costing you subs. Because if somebody does something or checks out something you have and they come here, it's difficult to know what exactly you're doing. Your description just says the crow. I don't know what that means. So that makes it kind of a challenge for you. It looks like I'm seeing that you're doing music. So if you're doing like your original music, so yeah, it looks like you're doing like your own beats here. So again, I would still look, like I see like a lot of these thumbnails look like you're trying to associate them with maybe who it is that you're kind of mimicking, or you know, I see the like type beat. Maybe with TubeBuddy software. I mean, I definitely see where you're like making references to the influences of the beats, but I would try to, like, I think this is cool. I like this icon, but you got to get some information on here that tells people what it is that you do. And then I would try to pull this into your actual thumbnails. Because ultimately I would imagine that if these are your original beats, that you would want to be credited with them, and you would want people to know that this is a source of that type of, you know, of that type of music. So you definitely want to be able to develop your brand as something where people can go to get beats, or however it is whatever your goals are for the music. And to that end, I would probably try to incorporate these into the actual thumbnails. And again, trying to find that consistent way to associate all your thumbnails with each other. Then people will start to recognize your name and your brand as a source for, you know, this type of content, and you know, you kind of build a name for yourself that way. Type beats, instrumental. Yeah, so I mean, that would be my advice in this case, is to try to focus some more on your brand and try to get this stuff all tied to each other. Car Show, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining the stream. Sage Nez, good to see you. Mimi Von Schnaps. Carpy Chris Dodd. Bright Side of Mathematics. All right, we are moving on to DV Nerd 101. If he's still in the house here. Are you still here, DV Nerd 101? There you are. Okay. All right. DV Nerd. Whoa. All right. Those auto videos stop playing. All right, DV Nerd 101, weekly vlogging videos, Wednesdays and Sundays. Definitely have your face in your channel art. It looks like you probably squeeze in there on mobile. You're nice and even at 500 subscribers. Congrats on that milestone. You have your consistent blue in your header and your icon, so that works for you. If I was going to say anything about your channel art, you probably don't need to put a YouTube logo on the channel art, because people know where they are. You're using your face in your thumbnails, which is cool. In this thumbnail and in general, you want to make sure that you keep your text out of the lower right hand corner, because it will get obscured by the timestamp and then people won't be able to read it. Also, you want to pay attention to the contrast behind your text. This right here gets a little hard to read, so you might want to consider putting, you know, contrasting boxes or something behind your text. That font is a little bit difficult to read when it gets smaller, so you definitely want to try to keep the text to a minimum And I might even consider trying to keep it a consistent color rather than jumping all over the place with it, so people can kind of associate it with, you know, a branding with your channel. So keep it out of the, like I said, of the corner. Make sure your face is in all these. That all works good. And people can certainly identify you as the brand. Now the other thing, let's see, we have you have your playlists, the horizontal playlists, which are great, and you have your descriptions in your playlists, which is good also. And about section, about me, obviously, more in depth, my life interests, and how weird I am. Like, subscribe, share. So you're doing a vlog, good information here. Depending on what your goals are for growth on YouTube, you might want to consider minimizing some of the links that you're sharing here, with the idea that you're trying to keep people on YouTube and you're trying to grow that channel rather than kind of spreading them out across all your different social media. Once you get a little bit bigger and you have good growth going on your channel, then you can kind of consider you know, mixing some of these in, but you might want to just focus them just on clicking to subscribe and get them to do, you know, YouTube and get YouTube grown first. But otherwise, yeah, your face is in there. They're clear. They're easy to read. I would just clean up that text a little bit. Try to be consistent with your text. I'd probably even try to do some consistent color schemes and make the text bigger and higher contrast so people can read it. And I think you will be doing well. All right. Aquarium lover. Let me know if you're still hanging out in the chat, and we will check out yours next. You're welcome, DV Nerd 101. All right, so Aquarium Lover, if you're still in the chat, let me know. Otherwise, we will move on to the next one on the list. Probably not going to add any additional channels to the live streams unless you're really eager and you want to throw a super chat up there, only because I already have, or I still have like 8 to go. All right, so Aquarium Lover, I don't think she is here anymore. Kawi Katana, I can add her to the end of the list, but I still have, all right, so I don't see, is Science Gal Aquatic still in the chat? I'm glad you finally caught this stream too, Anaflex Animations. Thank you, Car Show. I appreciate you taking the time to check out the channel. I still have you on the list, Simply Stone. We're working our way down there. Avalon Acres Farm. You still in the stream? I don't blame him. It's midnight here, so it's getting late for everybody. Next one up is, oh, there you are. Perfect. Avalon Acres Farm it is. bring up your channel. All right, Avalon Acres Farm. All right, so Avalon Acres Farm. It's decorative, although I don't know specifically what the channel's about, unless it's about like farm life. But we shall see. Let's see what the about section had. Avalon Acres Farm. For example, we literally lost the farm my husband had. Sorry to hear that. 2 years wandering, lost. Right, so 3 acres of land in the heart of Amish country, bought a shed, and we're building out our home forever while living here and planning our new homestead. Self-sufficient, self-sustaining. Wow. Raise your own food. That seems like it would be such a cool thing to do. All right, so let's take a look here. I might find, based on this story, I might find or go with a slightly different approach on your channel art. Because I think you have a compelling story that would probably cause people to want to subscribe to your channel and watch your content. However, they may not be motivated to go searching for it in the about section. So I might consider, you know, shrinking this down a little bit, making sure that it fits on mobile. It looks a little wide. And then, you know, adding some type of tagline or information, you know, something like self-sufficient, self-sustaining, homesteading, or whatever, however it is you want to describe it, so people know exactly what to expect here. So take a look at your videos. Easy peasy. Bull cozy tutorial. Make a door for our spoiled cats. We have a live stream. Homestead update. So you definitely seem to be doing the whole homestead thing. So I would probably incorporate that into your channel art and let people know exactly what you're all about, because I think that would, just letting them know that would probably get a lot more people to subscribe from your channel page, because I think that concept is really popular right now, and I think people would be more compelled to subscribe to your channel if you delivered that to them quickly and let them know that that's what you're doing. Font on your thumbnails. I'm not sure. It looks like you might just be doing screen prints from your thumbnails maybe, and then throwing some text on them. I would try. I'm trying to see if this is that TubeBuddy text? Are you making, if you're making your thumbnails in TubeBuddy, I'm not sure if that's TubeBuddy text or not, or where you're getting that from, but I would probably go with something a little bit chunkier, so it's a little bit easier to read. And again, with the contrast, it's good that you got the white outline on it, but you definitely want the text to be bigger, and you don't need to repeat the entire title of your video on the thumbnail. You know, you really like this, you know, rather than doing road trip, we're leaving the homestead, you actually have more text on your thumbnail than the entire title. So maybe do leaving the homestead or leaving, you know, and try to get people enticed to want to read your title and then click on your video. So, and again, trying to find some consistency on the look of your thumbnails so people know that they are all related. And whether that's finding, you know, either using an icon like this, or maybe coming up with, you know, some kind of logo with your, you know, AAF or something to that extent, to kind of tie all this in together. And then on this, on your, let's see how we have it organized here. Here, I would probably get this, try to get this converted to some horizontal playlists so you can expose more of your content. Because what I find on your main channel page is you don't really need to get description depth on your channel page. If you've done good thumbnails and titles, that's enough information. That's why I like the horizontal playlists. These vertical things where you're getting all the descriptions and stuff, I just think it's overkill, and you can really expose more of your content if you just stick to the horizontal playlists. All right, get back to the chat. All right. Matrix War, damn live stream still going. Yep, yes it is. And let's see, one thing. Yeah, TubeBuddy text. So if you use some of the bulkier text, one of the things that when I first started doing the TubeBuddy text is I didn't realize that you could kind of, it'll give you like 3 different sizes, but you can actually drag, once you type something, you can grab the bars on the end of the text and you can kind of make it taller or fatter or shrink it. So kind of play around with that with some of the chunkier text that are available in the free version. And some of the chunkier text, the one bad side is it doesn't really do a good outline, but you can kind of throw some solid colored contrasting bars behind them, like squares from the TubeBuddy setup, and get some good contrast that way, and get a decent looking thumbnail. Enforcer 5150, $2 on the super chat. Can you please quick review me? Only 10 subs. I'm going to throw you on the list. I appreciate the super chat. And we just did Avalon Acres. I'm going to pop up your channel real quick here. Enforcer 5150. All right, so channel art looks cool, but I have no idea what your channel is about, so you definitely want to get channel art that tells people what it is you're making content about. Also, you have your little icon here, which is cool. Kind of looks South Parky to me. Again, still don't know what either of these mean. If I come down here and I look at your content, it looks like you're doing some gaming, so you definitely want to get some information up in your channel art that tells people what you're doing. In your about section, you got to definitely have some information in here. Gamer for 30 years. Super excited, creating videos on YouTube right now. Small, so gaming, scanning. Looks like you're talking about your history in gaming, going back to Duck Hunt and Nintendo. So yeah, I would try to incorporate that on your channel art. I would replace this or add some text to this that basically gives some context or some information to people who come to visit your page and give them a reason to subscribe to your channel. Just a cool looking graphic is not going to do it. And then you definitely want your channel art and your icon to kind of work with each other. And right now they're completely different. You also want to have, kind of like you've done here with your icon, you want to get your icon on all your thumbnails. Get all your thumbnails associated with each other with some type of branding that kind of ties everything in and lets people know that this is your content and where they can come to find more of it if they're interested. So that's what I would say on your channel, and just keep making more content. Let's see what you got here. You have quite a bit here, but I didn't see a ton on your homepage. Let's see if you're actually making the playlist. You definitely need to make some more playlists. Right now you just have the one that gets created when you like a video. You definitely want to make, whether it's playlists by the different games or the type of games, you want to create the playlist, and then you want to start to list the playlist out on your main channel page to get people exposed to your content and give them more reasons to want to click that subscribe button. And thanks again for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Aquarium lover has returned. So we're going to pop your channel up now. All right. Aquarium lover. Fish lovers, aquarium since the 90s. Share with you my experience. Built my dream tank. Okay. So on this, I mean, you might possibly, because it's aquariums, get away with not having anything in your channel art, but it might be a little bit helpful to tell people exactly what about aquariums you are going to share with them. You know, whether you're a channel that goes around taking pictures of aquariums or whether you're teaching people how to take care of aquariums, that kind of information can be helpful in getting people to decide whether or not they want to subscribe. The other thing I might consider is using this space to do an additional subscribe link, because strangely I've heard that people do tend to click on that one more frequently than this one for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, you obviously, by your name and your content, that you are doing stuff related to fish tanks. And let's take a look here. That is a huge tank you have there. And so I definitely see in some of your videos you are in them. I don't know if you're consistently in your videos, but if you are and you want to be associated with your brand, you might want to consider including your face in your thumbnails. And then, so you got aquarium tips and reviews. That's good. Got them all broken down that way. And stop the autoplay. Yeah, like the created playlists, I would probably use that space for laying out some horizontal playlists more than doing this, only because the created playlists don't really give you a ton of information like that, and people can always click on the playlists link to see all of your playlists, so it's kind of redundant without adding a ton of value, which is why I like the horizontal playlist to get your, you know, more exposure to your stuff. So that would probably be my suggestion there. But yeah, I would probably, I like the image of the fish tank, but I might add a little bit of something to it to let people know exactly what to expect and when to expect it if you have a regular schedule. Avalon Acre is going to get the paid version of TubeBuddy. Cool. Law and Smoke asks, how do we get you to look at our channels? Normally you just ask. It's just getting late on my end, so I've kind of maxed out the list. The one exception to that is if you really want to get your channel reviewed and you're interested in doing a super chat, I can probably bump you to the top of the list for that. But we had a fairly long list to start, so I'm still trying to get through the original list of people. Happily Ever Outdoors with a $5 super chat. Thank you. Let me know if you're looking for a channel review on that, or yeah, we're going on 3.5 hours on this live stream, so Not trying to make force everybody to do super chat, but I definitely want to get through the people who have been waiting. So happily ever outdoors, let me know real quick in the chat if you want me to look at your channel. Otherwise, I will go to the next one on the list. Thank you very much for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Every little bit helps the channel, and I got a lot of plans for 2018 for stuff to bring you guys, and especially the trips to VidSummit and video marketing world. If I were to try to get to both of those, it'd be like $4,000 to cover those trips. So, all right. So I didn't see a specific request to look at your channel. So if you do want me to take a look at your channel, just let me know. But otherwise, I'm going to jump on the next one on the list. Avalon Acres Farm, thanks for the review. Appreciate what I've learned from you. I appreciate you watching the channel. All right, so is Daily Cinema still here? Kawa Katana, $10 super chat. Awesome, thank you. I appreciate it. Can you do my wife's channel, Healthy Wifestyle? Let's see. Healthy Wifestyle. All right, there it is. All righty. All right, next we're going to look at Healthy Wife Style. Take a look at this real quick. I think it's a cool header, but I find the text kind of hard to read. I'm not sure how what that design was or how it was done, or if it's my angle, but I would probably look for a little bit more contrast in that writing. That's me personally. Otherwise, I like it. You got the fringe stuff here, which may be cut off on mobile, but that's cool. Not a big deal. And your wife appears to be part of the branding, so her face is in the thumbnails. I would also consider, given the fact that she's part of the brand, to consider getting her face in the channel art as well. You know, making that personal connection with somebody can be really engaging and help people to make the decision to subscribe to a channel. So that's something you could consider on the channel art. And definitely get your about section filled out. Let people know what you are doing. I mean, you've basically alluded to it with the title, but I would kind of expand exactly what it is that you're doing and how that all works. So if we go in here, we have, so we're doing, looks like it might be some vlogging and like keto. See a lot of keto. Keto. All right, yeah, so I would probably, and now here's the thing, like I see some consistent color schemes on some of these thumbnails. You got the pinks going and you got your face in the thumbnail. I feel like it's a little bit, you kind of have two different styles going here. We got the nice high contrast on your thumbnails and then like a completely different look on the channel art. I might try to consider how to bring those two closer together. You know, like I said, that everybody can tell it's one channel, it's one brand. Everybody can tell that they're related. So that might be something I would suggest, including the about section, playlists. You got keto and house tour. I would probably try to spread the content into some different playlists so you can kind of expand those out on the main channel page here and go from there. Oh, thanks, Doug. All right. Happily Ever Outdoors. Definitely going to bring you up. Happily Ever Outdoors. All right, so this is another channel art that doesn't have any text, but it's an outdoor channel. So I think that the channel art does kind of tell a story here. But again, I still think, I see that it looks like you crossed 1,000 subscribers recently. Congrats to you. Awesome milestone. Hiking, camping, survival. Videos. See, so like I like these thumbnails. I think these thumbnails are interesting to people who follow this type of content, and they would make people want to watch. I think you just need to decide if you want to kind of build, you know, build your brand, because you have your face in, like you have your face in your thumbnails, but then in your channel art, I'm not sure, I would imagine this is you, but you don't have your face in it. So I would almost think that having this same picture, seeing your face would be a much stronger brand approach. And also the idea that you have your icon down here with your logo. Can't really read the tiny text there, but like trying to find a way to get all this stuff flowing together. And that's kind of the whole branding, the branding concept. So like these, like some of these are kind of compelling images, but you wouldn't know that they're from your channel. Like these pictures right here, it's a nice, well organized and well balanced picture, but there's nothing on it that would tell anybody that it's from your channel. You know, and if you're trying to build a brand as, you know, that go-to channel for outdoor and survival stuff, you might want people to know that a particular video is yours without having to search for your channel name. And one of the ways you can do that is to kind of incorporate your face into each individual thumb. But if you're going to do that, I would also try to get your face in your channel art as well. And then you also do it by doing common colors and common font and stuff, and kind of getting all that flowing together. So I would consider, if you're going to do like something like this, it's a cool picture of the knife, but you're kind of broken out of it. I would try to frame this in such a way that you can accomplish both. And I don't know if you're doing this just by grabbing stills from the video, which I think you might be, which is why some of these look the way they do. But if you can think about it ahead of time when you're making a video, snap a still, get a good nice still frame, snap that picture, and then you can go back and use it by uploading a custom thumbnail, and you know, have a little more work with that. Things like this where you have this, we have a winner on here. almost impossible to read that text, but there's no contrast. So that's another thing you want to consider. Nice big chunky text with good contrast behind it will help people read the font when you add it to thumbnails. Hey Adam, Tube Questions. Thanks for joining the stream. How you doing, man? All right, where are we at here? Did we find Daily Cinemas? Is Daily Cinemas still in the chat? Okay. So the next one on the list after Daily Cinemas would be Simply Stone. Going once, going twice. All right, so next up is AnimaFlex Animations then. All right, so the first thing that stands out is you have no content on your home screen. So you definitely want to fix that. So it looks like you're doing animations, as your name would suggest. Video game stuff, right? About, what do we do? Let's see, draw things, create a little animation stuff. If that's your kind of thing, feel free to subscribe and hit the bell. Okay, so one thing I would say is I would definitely looks like, yeah, I guess that's what you have here. All right. So you definitely want to get, at the very least, create a playlist. Create a playlist of all your videos. I don't know if these other ones are just things that you like, but at the very least create at least one playlist, or if these have any type of grouping, I would try to get them into playlists, and then you definitely want to get that displayed on your channel page. Also, your channel art doesn't, I mean, I'm assuming this is your artwork, but there's no way for anybody to know that. So you want to be able to let people know. It looks like you have some good growth going, so people are finding your content. Let's see here. What is Come Back by Telluride Lover? So you've had some good successful videos here, so you definitely want to get them on your main on your main channel page. You can do that by getting them into some playlists. So that way, I mean, you have this really successful video here. You want people, when they come to your thing, you want that on your home screen. You know, if they don't know what you're about, you want to put your best foot forward and get that stuff displayed so it's the first thing they see when they visit your channel. That's going to get more people to click the subscribe button and convert those visitors into subscribers for you. So I would probably definitely add some more context up here, some content in terms of what it is that you're doing on the channel. And I would also try to work I might try to find some other way to kind of tie all your thumbnails together too a little bit. I mean, the style of your animation, you can kind of tell some of them are related, but you want everybody to figure out, or, you know, to see, like, even if it's just this little face that you include on there somehow, so people know all the stuff is yours. All right, and what's up in pro wrestling? Host Mr. Cool. Thanks for joining the stream. Good night, Avalon Acre Farms. Thanks for joining the stream. While Jaggin75, while you're alive this whole time, big help to YouTubers everywhere elsewhere. Thanks, I appreciate it. All right, the is Pandar's puppets still in the chat? I think they wanted me to look at their thumbnails. All right, see, Animal Flex Animations getting some love in the chat. Animal Flex Animations is currently at 999 subscribers, so if anybody likes animation, definitely head over there and click that button and push them up over that 1,000 subscriber mark. All right, Pandar's Puppets, there you are. Let's take a look here. All right, so so this part of your channel art is nice and easy to read. And it kind of has a vintage feel to it. This right here, this is really tough to read. So the classic Happy World episodes and the Scary House, I might try to make that a little easier to read. Let's see here. Official Pandar's Puppets channel. Welcome. Here are the puppet creations of Taylor Grant. They've appeared in live shows all over the States, as well as in their cable access show Happy World. Now the characters are out of storage. We're repairing, upgrading, and creating every day. We hope you do too, and please enjoy the new content. Cool. Professor of Happy. So generally speaking, you have some consistent themes on your thumbnails. The one thing that I would mention is, again, trying to keep your text out of the lower right hand corner because it makes it difficult to read, especially when it gets covered up by the timestamp. And one of the easy ways to do that, like especially when you have like thumbnails like this, is to try to put the faces on the right and the text on the left. It just keeps your text away from that area. Happy troll, the end of trolling. Happy troll. Again, you got the text that gets covered by the timestamp in the lower right hand corner, so I'd kind of focus on that. I see you have, one of the things that I noticed is you have the Pandar's puppets as kind of branding on that, which is cool. I would try to stay consistent with the type of font that you're using. Looks like it's different in a couple different places. And I would also try to stay consistent with that across your different thumbnails. I see like you have it up here, but it seems to be jumping to a couple different fonts. So that would be the suggestion there. Also, the colors in your thumbnails seem a little bit different than the colors up here. Looks like some oranges and browns, and these almost seem red. So I try to find some consistency there, and again clean up the lack of contrast in this text here. So that would be something that I would focus on. And so we have those, and oops, stop that. You got your descriptions and your playlists, which are cool. And then you just want to kind of, if you can, build out the shorter playlists, get them to at least 5 videos so they take up the space. So those would be my suggestions there. So yeah, I mean, just in reference to the thumbnails, because I know that was your focus on that, trying to get that consistency with the either using the Pandar's puppets everywhere, and then keeping the font out of the lower right hand corner, I think is would be your main focuses there. All right, so that is officially the end of the live stream list. Again, for those of you who joined the stream late, this video is sponsored by TubeBuddy, the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your channel. If you're not currently using TubeBuddy, you should definitely check it out. It's available to download for free in the description below this video. Definitely recommend checking it out, getting that plugin installed in your Chrome browser, whatever browser you're using, and seeing all the cool tools that it can help you that show up when you upload a video to help do things like keyword research and thumbnails, etc. So definitely check that out. We're gonna wrap it up for now. I'm gonna start doing these live streams every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. So if you didn't get a chance to get a channel review tonight, only because I'm going on almost 4 hours on this live stream, so it's time to wrap it up for tonight. But I appreciate everybody coming to hang out. Super awesome live stream. Definitely appreciate it. I appreciate all the super chats that everybody shared tonight. And definitely come back next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we can do this again. So that is going to do it for tonight. Yeah, I couldn't get to all of the reviews tonight, but it would be wise for me to get to bed at some point. All right, good night, everybody.